All right, all right, all right. What's up, folks? Let's get into this topic of conversation. And the way I come up with this topic, man, is a conversation I was having with an older cat. One of the OGs I always have conversations with on various things in life. And also with some of the content I be putting up, man. A lot of older cats be liking the shit I put up on Instagram and shit. And just the shit that I talk about just overall. And our conversation was going into addiction. And there's a huge level of senior addicts, like elder people who are narcotics addicts, not just alcoholism. And I think that's the one thing that's not really focused on in this crisis that America faces, as there's a new drug epidemic. And then our conversation talking about, because I was talking about how when I go to one of the spots that I go to get food at over here, out here in Vegas, I go over to this Popeyes whenever I want Popeyes, and I when I go at night, even in the daytime, I think it's a lot of addicts over there, and it's a lot of addicts that are just strung out, and these are addicts of all ranges of age, man, from cats who probably look like they're probably 19, 20, fresh out of high school, but the drugs have put a disgraceful whooping on these cats. And some of these dudes who may be in their early 20s may walk around looking like they're 30 and 40, like just a effed up 30-year-old. And then you have the people who are in their 50s to 70s. There's even 80-year-olds out here in Vegas that are homeless. Because I did one of these things they do in Vegas is a roundup for the homeless where they go out and they do counts. They go out here and they do other type of services and resources for homeless. And doing that event, I never did it again because of some of the saddest crap that you can ever see in your life. Seeing families that are homeless, seeing elder people are homeless. And then as we face this crisis with housing, there are more and more people going out here, and drug is the alternative to dealing with their issues, being that they're kind of a forgotten class of people out here in this country. It's a country that turns their back as we allow wealthy scumbags who are lazy as fuck, who do nothing but push buttons, buy and trade commodities and whatever the hell they trade, and shift money around while they pedophile with little underage children and shit. And so you have that going on. Is America is just being wiped away, and benefits, opportunities, and successes are dwindling away and going to a particular class of low morale, having ass people. And so, like seeing that, I was seeing all type of shit like that. Elder people, family people, couples that are out there, people who've done everything right. A lot of people without addictions, but have lost things, as economic challenges, health challenges. Health becomes very crucial for a lot of people, and once that factors in, you can crash and burn and lose everything. And I think that's why there's such a heavy push and paranoia amongst people with their overdosing and these health regimens that people are on, whether it's the discipline in their dietary consumptions and shit like that, out of their fears of what had happened to their health possibly, because they've seen what that has done. And it's kind of a repeated history in a lot of families, as they'll watch a relative before them crash from some health crisis and shit, and it can send families into a tailspin. And so, but when we're speaking about this issue taking place, I was talking about how I see all these fools, no matter what end of Vegas I go on, you see this shit, and it's a bunch of people who like leaning over here, like how they used to show Kensington, Pennsylvania, all the dope fiends out there, and they're just all around it. You just seeing people all day just stuck, leaned over, just gone. And then what he was talking about is like, man, they got this shit out here. They got where meth is a big issue out here amongst all ages. And then you have where a lot of this stuff is being mixed in with fentanyl. And he was like, I'm like, fentanyl. I'm like, damn, I'm wondering where that shit coming from. I'm thinking like Venezuela, why this idiot president shooting at fishing boats and shit, shooting at canoes and think he doing something militaristic. And then so he's like, no, it's the Chinese bringing that on. And I'm like, oh, you know what? that has been what Trump has been talking about and blaming for bringing that shit on. So why he ain't bombing boats over in China? Because he's a fucking coward. And because he knows the consequences and repercussion of doing something like that. So let's go pick on a country that sent a bunch of their residents over here. And we'll go pick on Venezuela versus China if that's the people manufacturing and pushing fentanyl into this country. And fentanyl being extremely deadly. And so we were speaking about that. And I'm like looking like, is this China's retaliation towards America? I think that's something that may be sweeping parts of Europe as well. Could this be China's retaliation against Western countries for what was done to it 100 years ago? And that being what led probably more than 150 something years ago of what would be known as the Opium Wars. And where China, being a very, very wealthy, powerful, mighty nation, and many of the Western countries wanted to go there to do trade, and especially the Brits, because the Brits had this addiction to what? They drink that shit for breakfast. They drink that shit for lunch. They drink it for dinner. They drink it when they sick. They drink it when they feel good, and that being tea. They going over for tea, silk, all type of ish. And they're wanting to get in the trade because now you deal with what America cries about today with China is trade deficits. And the fact that China don't want none of your shit. China be like, we make our own shit. We don't need yours. We don't want to do a trade with you. We'll leave you in a deficit. And that was happening hundreds of years ago, even with the Brits. The Brits over there with their addiction to Chinese goods. The fact that China's very efficient back there. And the fact that, for Britain to be able to get anything as far as a trade with them, it happened to be silver. I think silver was a commodity that the Chinese wanted. That's the only thing the Chinese wanted from the Brits. Anything else come from Britain, they didn't want that shit. Because maybe China viewed it as like, this shit come from somewhere else. You done stole this shit from either India or you stole it from Africa. And all they left for the Brits to have opportunities in the country was this small little destination, a small place. I forget what the name of the place is, but it was a small port to where their merchants only allowed to do trade there. They weren't allowed to come into the mainland and none of that shit. So Britain in there trying to figure out, man, what do we want? We're in this deficit with these fools. We're giving away all our silver as far as our exchanges with them in this trade deal to bring teas over here. The British people want it. And even to this day, we see the British's addictions to teas and things like that, teas and sugar and all that shit. And so these fools come up with a plan that was outlawed by the Chinese government because before the Chinese people had not so much of addiction, but they had been open to the use of opium. And then the government bans that shit. And then you had this 50-year, like a 40-year span in where this shit ain't in the country. And what does the British devise? Same thing devised in South Central. Same thing devised in the Chicagos and the New Yorks, all the major cities here in America. And that's to drop the bomb on you. And this bomb don't explode, but you light it up and it will blow your motherfucking mind. And that being dope. So they end up flooding the damn Chinese with that opium. Getting them hooked on motherfucking phonics, something beyond phonics. They turned China into New Jack City, goddammit. Brought that shit over there on sailboats. Nino Brown and a bunch of motherfuckers in white wigs and all that George Washington looking shit out there slanging keys, homie. Slanging keys of that powder. Let me show how they dress. Let me put on some of their find some photos of them. Give me 1 second. Let me find these George Washington people. Let me see. Hold on. Let me go Brits in the, let me go 1700s. They have some clothing, some of their fashion up back then. So these was the dope dealers of that time. These fools, wait, hold on, let me show these fools. Let me see. Because they paint these fools like they were of high society, high class and all that. Let me see. Let me go. British fashion. Let me go on that. So this was the Louis Vuitton look, swagged out shit back then. Oh, wait, hold on. Now let me see. I'll just go with here. Hold on, give me 1 second. Brits, British people. Let me go in that 1780s. Here we go. Let me go. This gonna be their outfits. So these are the dope dealers. Let me see. The ice cream man of the 17 and 1800s out of Britain. So these are the fools in there slanging keys. Look at this fool with his feet standing like he a loke, looking at over the empire like I'm about to drop my dope over here. I'm going to control this over there. Yeah, I'm rolling on my horse. Yeah, bitch, I'm up. Yeah, you want to go out on a date? Get on the back of my horse. You know what I'm saying? Things are much easier. Look, he done fitted his chick out after serving the Chinese all these keys and then brought the Chinese onto their knees. So these was the dope dealers of the day. And even till today, this is what a dope dealer looked like. This is what the dope dealers gangs look like. So these people in their hood collecting their taxes. This them in some other land, conquering their shit after serving more keys. So that's what they was over there in China doing. So they was in there bringing that shit over there, getting the Chinese hooked up on they motherfucking dope. They specialize in New Jack City shit. Turn the Chinese into pookies. Chinese couldn't even get their kicks up. So when the Chinese government started waking up, they destroyed one of the greatest dynasties in China through the use of this drug. And that dope set China all the way back. That shit brought China down to its knees. And even they'll go to war over this shit. As they told the Brits, don't be bringing that shit up over here. Get that shit up out of here. They had some little escalations in their tensions and shit. And, things reached the tipping point to where they said, all right, since you don't want to bring that shit up out of here, you disrespecting our land, disrespecting our people. You got our people over here pookie the hell out. We over here smoked out. The whole country looked like the damn Enterprise. We got to go. We have to get busy. And what the Chinese didn't know is that they outdated with their weaponry. The British over there can't fight from fist to fist. They said, okay, you hold that thought. We'll be back. And we're going to come back with some of our best fighters. Our best fighters are going to have these cannons to put rounds in your ass. And that's just what they came back. What the Chinese ass. Chinese didn't know what hit them, man. They come in with that old shit. So that also goes back. And when you look at present day, why the Chinese are so hell-bent on their investments in military technology, like advancements in military technology. And also with the use of that same technology, some of it going into is being a derivative into the civilian markets and shit. But this is one of the lessons learned from China. I'm saying, like, off this conversation, it just springboards this thought, and then thinking of looking at things in the way in which China is. And then China's can't trust these white nations at all because they have a history of being the misfortunes of being held captive by them. The British also forced Chinese into slavery and shit. Upon China losing that war, they end up taking over Hong Kong. That's why Hong Kong was a possession of Britain, and where Britain did trade over there. Some of the biggest trade ports is over there, as the British went over there and dominated the area because all the Chinese hooked up on dope. That shit fucked them over. The same way that crack shit has screwed over black folks and especially white folks now. White folks are being hit with it at such a tremendous rate. Mark Sumner's mom and daddy is dope fiends, his siblings, even his granny is out there on the pipe. And who knows what she does to get her hit. I don't know what nasty motherfucker will pull her panties down and spank that old wrinkly, soggy, unporcelained ass on Mark Sumner's granny. But let me say what's up to y'all. Let me hold that thought real quick and I'll get right back to the lesson at hand. Give me 1 second and finish cooking on it because I love to turn history into some comical shit. All right, so let me say something. Mark in the building. And then Mark Sumner says, America says being wiped away. Oh, yeah, America's facing issues along with that president who looked like you and as well as the issues with dope and this mug brought over here by people who look like you as well. And then Mark Sumner says that's Sin City for you. Says that's not common around America. What, drug use? Use an ex-dope fiend. What you talking about, fool? You know your damn parents done fucking had to enroll you in the fucking drug rehab program. The hell are you talking about? You know, they ain't found you out there on the street laying next to some old cracked out whore. And then Mark Sumner says Vegas always been a place, says, with a lot of dope heads. Vegas ain't even got the largest population of dope heads. So you closer to where a capital of dope heads is at. And then Mark Summers says, I mean, it's no white t-shirts, I guess. And then in the Mark Summers, yeah, I walk around you with, you such a dope fiend. I'll walk around you with this white t-shirt. You just sniff this motherfucker off me, thinking it's cocaine. Your motherfucking vacuum nose, you fucking scumbag. And then he says, dope dealer says, do not look like that, man. The dope dealers look like your fucking pictures. You go in your house and see them old ass photos in your damn granny's china cabinet with them old Brits dressed in that old not Abraham Lincoln, but the George Washington outfits. That's what dope dealers look like. And I'm so sad that they never taught you that, and you feel offended. But these is what the dope dealers look like. These are people pushing that heroin over in China. And they even brought that shit into America, because this was what the outfit of a dope dealer. When a dope dealer start getting his level of keys up, he went out, he brought one of these outfits and shit. When he got his money up, he went and got one of these outfits, had his picture drawn up, and then, see all the little raggedy hoes come chasing. You know what I'm saying? That's how your granny start chasing motherfuckers. She was a little bopper, homie. Your granny was old 1700 bopper. Couldn't keep her motherfucking opium ass legs closed. Yeah, motherfucker. Don't you ever disrupt my damn lesson. And then says you feel bad for China. Of course I feel bad for China. Now I have an understanding why China doing the shit it does. And it's just bad that you happen to be one of the victims of what they bring over here, because you can't keep your nose clean. You can't keep your nose clean. Your nose has an addiction for drugs going in it. And then and he says you don't know the history. He says before that history, says see, you really have no idea, says what's going on. You're on YouTube too much. He says it's really not widespread. Like, man, you are fucking retarded. Says I associate meth heads with Vegas. Man, you associate meth heads with your family. Says not common around here. This fool Mark Summers is in such denial. You are in such denial, buddy, because drugs is attached to your name. Your names might as well be fentanyl. That's what you might as well change your last name to. You probably got a picture of fentanyl tattooed on you. That's how bad your addiction was. When they seen you tattoo a plate with all type of narcotics on it with your nose next to it, your parents knew you had a problem. And they had to send you off. They about to cut you off. You ain't even in the wheel no more. Your damn addiction so strong. And he said, did you see Antifa says now label a domestic terrorist threat, says, and being compared to Hamas? Of course Trump would do that shit, because Antifa is a damn white organization who beats other white people up with Trump ideals. So of course he would do something like that. But guess what? It's not going to stick. Antifa keep kicking their hoe asses. And Mark Summers is laughing out loud, says, so clueless. No, Mark Summers, I'm right on point. So back to this lesson. So back to China, and then the reason why China is starting to protect itself. China doesn't engage in wanting any of the shit from Western nations. China does everything to protect its citizens from Western shit. That was the one thing with TikTok shit. And what people were stating about in China, what the people over there don't have access to. It ain't just because, they want, they're raising their kids with greater standards and this and that. No, they don't want to be affected with the poison that had affected them for 100 years that was brought over there by Western nations. And the fact that when they decide to go to, engage in these disputes, they turn into not verbal combat, but actual firing of weapons that now they have to protect themselves. And with the money that they're bringing in, they reinvest that shit right into protection. They got the whole world afraid of them. They're not really a threat. I don't view China as being an aggressive threat. But who is an aggressive threat is who the people have targeted them. You didn't find China going there and initially put drugs in their countries and all that other shit. China just sending a message back into a lesson in history. Also a lesson in history that America needs to wake up for what it did to its own goddamn citizens. And it just shows the six-sidedness of a nation and the other nations who are aligned with this nation who have done such sick ass sinister shit. And then now everybody runs scared when this nation takes it upon themselves after, pulling themselves out of a 100-year rut based on what was deliberately done to them by the British powers. And even after the first Opium Wars, to where America and them all advanced, engaged in the trade and conquest over there, to where I think they even going into the mainland China and then begin to dominate over there. And then it got so bad with this opium crisis in China that its ruler, the emperor over there, when they end up invading his palace, burning that shit down, taking all type of valuables out of his palace and even his own puppy. And then they give the puppy to their queen, and they say they named the puppy Luti. This is how foul they were, and the type of embarrassment they put on the Chinese, and the fact that the emperor at that time, even he was hooked on that shit. The emperor died a cokehead, a straight up goddamn crackhead. How can you run a country on crack? So that's why when Mao got into power, Mao restricted all that shit. Mao put an immediate end to opium users. Probably even killed some of them people, executing sellers of that shit. And it was crazy that opium banned in Britain, but Britain allowed the East Indian Company to ship and bring that shit all throughout this nation, which is just sick. And then you go in and when you look through times and look at what America has presented to its own people, and then America with this continuous crisis, thinking, okay, since we understand that with the Chinese, even when the Chinese were over here in America helping to build a railroad, what does America begin to do to the Chinese? Give them that same shit. Let's pay them in that shit. And then so when you get this shit with what they view and what they have understood from the study, because just don't think they put that shit in there and didn't go about having some specific research and scientific group that sat there and observed the effects of this shit on these people and on their society and how it weakened them and allow us to come over here and just gain all sorts of wealth in this country and leave these people starved out. Come on, homie. And then so now you go into where that study is used when you go into post-slavery. Drugs still ain't affecting black people. So when you begin to look at shit, because that's even like I was telling the older cat who I was talking to, because even with him, because he's such a cleaned up dude now, but with his story, this is why I love for people to tell stories and the testimony. I've always been a cat that sat back and listened to the older cats because so much knowledge you gain from him. But even with this older cat, you'll never think that he had the past that he had. But even him, he said he battled with alcoholism, like really bad for maybe 30, 40 years or some shit. Crack addictions and maybe even sherm he smoked back then. But when you think about it, what he was speaking about, you didn't have these addictions. So going through black people past, you didn't have during slavery an addiction with black folks. You didn't have this violence amongst black folks. Black folks wasn't doing drive-bys on each other, claiming territories over each other. Then when you move towards black people's freedoms, the fact they're still under threat with motherfuckers, then you go into this first so-called great war amongst Europeans killing each other and shit. But you still have blacks still struggling to climb out of poverty as a country begins to expand and grow and opportunity in this country, but still not afforded to those who have been here even longer than new rival people looking like Mark Sumner's coming here. And even the veterans not having the opportunities in the war that they helped to defeat so-called enemy of this country. Because I don't even know if these fools, if Hitler was really an enemy to these fools, just over as history gets written, they paint him as that. We still don't have these issues with black folks. Yeah, is there heroin out there? Yeah, you have that shit out there. But now that's beginning when you start turning into the turn of the century. To where now black people starting to be affected with certain shit. But you still didn't have that shit widespread in the communities. But now when black people begin to gain prosperity coming out of that war, find themselves going into the industrialized world, the more revolutionary side of the industrial revolution is this now global and shit, and black folks gaining power. I want to say power because there's starting to be some political change with black folks gaining controls of some of the large cities because we populate America's largest fucking cities and shit. We ain't in the countries on farms where people look like Mark Sumners are back there humping goats and shit because they women don't want to fuck them. And then so you start having that shit. They women got mad when all the black folks left the plantation, so they start moving the city to follow us. And so when you don't even have this shit. So now you go into the creation of this fucking war with people over in Asia, starting shit with the Vietnamese, sending a bunch of young black youth over there, fucking their minds up. The widespread use of drugs over in Vietnam, because that's the other side they don't show with the war. They'll show the carnage that was left over there, but they don't. And then they bring up this shell shock shit, PTSD now, what they call it. But they never speak about the fact that many of these young people were over there getting high to cope with some of the shit that they were seeing as very young dudes. You leaving fresh from home. Never mind. You wasn't the level of drive-bys and all that shit, seeing people's heads blown up, guts all out and shit. For a lot of these young dudes, you send them over there. You're a rich motherfucker starting shit with these people, bring them back, and don't assist them with shit. Don't help them to cope and understand what the hell they may have experienced over there and just dump them back off. And then along with coming in here, you dump these drugs that they've been using over there. Their minds all fucked up. They can't go to VA hospital and get access to any type of care, any type of treatment. And then now as we move into the 80s, they hit motherfuckers with the ultimate bomb. This shit was greater than that shit that hit Hiroshima and Nagasaki. This shit has been greater than any bomb created in some old weapons laboratory that the world has ever seen. And maybe the Chinese have experienced that shit with the way opium done it. When they put that crack shit in these communities and shit. And then as time goes on, and maybe the Chinese watching that, hey, the Americans is hooked on that shit too. Let's serve them up a dose of this shit. And they have dropped a bomb in this motherfucker. And that's what Trump and them crying about, shooting damn Venezuelan fisher canoes and shit. He's shooting at canoes and shit. The damn bullets more expensive than the boats these fools riding on. Searching for goldfish and shit. Trying to find Nemo. And Trump think he done did some shit. This nigga's such a damn idiot. He didn't think he did some old masterful shit. Go do that shit to China, motherfucker. You worried about fentanyl and all that shit. The Chinese produce that shit. Hell, the Chinese in here cooking that shit. But this president is such a hoe. That little old boy knows his fucking place. And who to fuck with. Because like I always say, Trump been a bitch. He was born a bitch. He got the DNA of a bitch. And Chinese know that shit. And the Chinese gonna flood more of that shit because the Chinese have an understanding that the little rich pricks who look like Trump are hooked on that shit. Look at Biden's son. Look at Ronald Reagan's daughter. All them bitches is hooked on dope. And that's just like today when I'm going to take my kids to schools. I'm on the way to go get them. I see these 4 young white boys. You can tell they little rich kids. Kids look young. They in one, what is the Audi? What is it? Not the Q5. It's the one expensive. Hold on, let me see. Let me type in Audi. They riding in the Audi SUV. Hold on, give me 1 second. I'm going to tell you exactly which one it is. Hold on. And these fools dipping in this mug. Windows down and shit. Flying through traffic, can tell they high as hell. Hold on, what's this SUV? That mug, no, not the Q3. Hold on. Let me find images. I'm gonna tell what exactly which one it is. Audi SUV. Is it the Q9? It might be that Q9. Is that which one it is? A big, is it like a heavy looking SUV from them? Let me see. Is this it? I think it might be the S. Whatever it is, like one day the most expensive SUV they got. And these dudes like 18, 17-year-old, windows down, and they just doing some of the most erratic shit in traffic. Just erratic as hell. Like these dudes about to wreck this nice ass vehicle. I'm like, man, these fools. And when I'm looking at them, I'm like, these fools high as a goddamn kite. And what it is that shit is hitting them communities. with them folks, or is it the SQ8? So it looks like it's the whatever this SUV, the Q8. That's probably what I think they were rolling in. Is the Q8? I think that's what they're riding in. And these kids in here driving like bats out of hell, just swanging through traffic. I'm like, man, these fools about to flip this mug, crash, destroy somebody's shit, and that's in that. And like I say, so that shit is starting to hit rich society, and it's the reason why Trump and them, out of all these presidents, all of a sudden wanted to address where the source of drugs is coming from. They not going at the drug dealers because guess who is also probably dealing that shit? Little white kids who have access to going over there, bringing that shit over here. And that's where Mark Sumner's and even his parents have been through drug rehab treatments because their nose have a sniffing for that shit. They like the Fruity Loops, whatever that little bird is, Toucan Sam with the nose. They knows radar pinpoint to that shit. They got the Doppler system in their motherfucking nose. And that's what is happening in the damn rich community or communities of Mark Sumner's, that they have Doppler systems in their nostrils and their search for drugs. This is how they find where the drug dealers are. They don't even have to ask. Drug dealers be wondering if these fools is part of the feds. Nah, the motherfucker just got a knack for where that dope at. Mark Summers says, like us, like in your community, he says they were doing too much crack, says a malt liquor. Well, no, in our communities, we have people who look like you coming into it from far out, from communities that they used to live in until they ran when they seen people who look like me moving in. And like cowards, they moved out, ran far, terrified, locked their doors, and then they came back when they found out dope was there. Ain't that some shit? These motherfuckers will move, pack, and sell their houses to get away from you. But as soon as that dope there, they bring their ass back here. Ain't that by the butt? Boy, you talk about the addictions of people who look like Mark Summers and Donald Trump. It is a motherfucker. And the Chinese have an understanding. This is payback. Mark Summers says they didn't have access to those things. And he says free people have more choices and responsibility. He says, you're anti-American. I'm an American for real. I ain't no passport getting motherfucker. I ain't no passport bro. I ain't no black dude that's into going somewhere to fuck foreign bitches. I fuck American bitches. Ones who look like my complexion and shit, preferably. I didn't serve in a foreign military. Hell, I ain't even a white dude like you who didn't serve in this motherfucking country's military. I served in this military. Unlike that president and the rest of you fake ass American motherfuckers. Don't ever speak about me being anti-American because I can talk all day about the true people who are anti-American. And those are people I get on here and talk every day about who are anti-American. You think Trump is American? You fucking peon. You better go ask your motherfucking self and ask Trump. That's just like, this is the other thing why Trump ends up. So this is the other thing that's forgotten about with Trump's target of Jimmy Kimmel. Matter of fact, I'm going to pull that shit up. Hold on. Let's go into this. Let's go into this other thing because this is a thing that's forgotten about why Donald Trump had targeted Jimmy Kimmel. Let me see. Let me go into this. See, Reggie Brain just be on point with shit. Jimmy Kimmel on Trump ties. Let me see if that pops up. Where he brought Trump on there and he asked Trump about his clothing. And they looked at where Trump ties, because Trump was pushing all this shit about these ties he had. Oh, wait, let me see. Trump clothes from China. Let me see if I can find this up. Let me see. Where they go back that far. Where he pulling up these clothing items and he looking. They had checked the Tasso and I think he had Trump as a guest on his show. He asking Trump. Yeah, I think that's Jimmy Kimmel who did that shit. Hold on, let me type it into Yahoo. And they was like, so where does this come from? And so when he looking at the back of this shit, it's for Trump run for president and all this shit. They revealing all this shit came from out of China. The ties, all that shit. Then you start seeing his clothing. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go, God damn it. Is this it? Let me see. Is this it? Is this gonna play a video? No, it's an article. Oh man, I gotta get a video of this shit because I'm about to show you Mark Summers, the genius of your boy Reggie. Oh, let me see. Where's this one? Let me see. Damn, don't tell me they removed this shit. Wait, here it is. Brought a bunch of Trump. Here we go. Here we go. God damn it. Let me see. What year did he do that? 2018. But I think this is before that. Let me see. Can we hold on, folks? Here we don't bring this shit up and talk about an anti-American. Let's talk about an anti-American. Mark, what is this skin coming on? God damn. Here we go. Hold on. Hold on. Let me pull this. Hold on. Let's pull this up. Hold on. All right, here we go. I think this is it. There we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Let the genius work. Let the genius work, homie. Let me turn this fan on, man. Let a genius. You seeing a true genius at work here, Mark Summers. I'm gonna school and expose you on Americanism, on what's being a true American versus people who fake and act like they're American. White skin don't make you an American, homie. Because when I look up who's true, like he trying to say he ain't a Trump supporter. Mark Summers, you got Trump supporter written all over you. You probably wear Trump drawers and sleep on a Trump pillow. Got Trump shower curtains. You got Trump tennis shoes on. You walk around looking stupid in that shit. So don't talk about now because you hear me going in on this dummy. He says Trump is anti-American. No, don't Mark Summers. Don't get on. Don't start agreeing with me, boy. I'm about to teach you. I'm about to teach you so I don't have to kick you. But you're going to learn these lessons from a true professor, a true American, and me. So let's go back into this shit. Because I got to find the other video I'm looking for, though. There's another video I'm looking for. Because there was somebody that brought Trump on their show and start asking him about these items from this fake-ass American motherfucker that you punks believe in. So let's blow this shit up. Always right with Reggie Owens teaching a class today. Let me. This one. All right. So long. Hold on. It's going over here. Let me see. 223. All right. Here we go. Here we go. We're gonna back this one up. So this is probably what leads to Donald Trump and them wanting to target Jimmy Kimmel is what Jimmy Kimmel did some 8 to 9 years ago. Let's bust it open, homie. Just like he bust this box when they bring in this damn Trump shit that a lot of these fake Trump lovers fail to fucking
best wishes,
realize.
Donald Trump Jr., Eric Trump. Well, thanks for the note, guys. You are the best. So let's see what we got here. First of all, I ordered a white Trump golf hat, which I don't know if you can see, but it's made in China. Okay. I got a coffee mug that says Trump on it, which is made in Thailand.
Okay.
I got a golf club cover, which is made in China but decorated in the USA, and that's something. So I got a Trump signature duffel bag, which is made in China. I got a Trump signature shoe bag, which is made in China. I got a blanket, which is made. Guess where this was made?
Texas.
Yeah, China. Yeah.
Yeah, China. So let's talk about who's an American, who's not for America. They never talk this American first bullshit. Homeboy, Mark Summers gonna go quiet now, folks. Watch him. Watch his comments as he flooded through this motherfucker with comments. That shit about to end. Don't ever call me no anti-American. I'm a true American. Don't think because your motherfucking face look like it what it do. like you ain't seen the sun before, that makes you an American when it don't. Asia Matt for the building salute. He says salute. Says you're finally making us proud tonight. Says this live says original dope dealers exposed. Well, no, if y'all paid attention and woke up, you'd be proud with everything I always say, even because always the truth. And then Mark Summers says, "Oh no, says you've exposed some people from the 1800s." Says that everyone already knew. No, you didn't know none of this shit, Mark Summers. Don't start to try to bow down and agree with the genius. Don't start to agree with a genius, homeboy. Knock it off. Mark Summers says. He says, I'm not from a rich community, unfortunately. No, because y'all smoked all the money up. That's why you're not. Your parents smoked that shit up, homeboy. Left you in a rut. Then smoked the motherfucker. The money went up their nose. The community went up their nose. All you motherfuckers on addiction. That's why y'all be having therapists when you motherfucking turn 10. Mark Summers says, I don't know what they're doing there. Oh no, we know what they're doing there, boy. He says if a bunch of white t-shirt wearing lowlights says move next to me, he says I move too. Yeah, because your motherfucking rehab program will kick in on your ass. The rehab program will kick in. You see white t-shirts, your motherfucking mind kick in, and your brain be fighting with the other side of it to tell you it's not cocaine, Mark. It's not cocaine. It's just a white t-shirt. That's why they didn't leave you white folks working in them fields back then, because cotton white, y'all out there sniffing all that cotton and shit, costing the country money. So they say, get these white folks to fuck up out of these motherfucking fields. Mark Summers says Trump is anti-American. Nah, Trump ain't anti-American because you be over here kissing his ass when I talk about him. Now all of a sudden I play this video for you. Now Trump is anti-American. Mark Summers, I know a dummy when I have one in front of me. And I knew you was a dummy. And that's why you don't jump on here. I knew you was a dummy when everybody heard your voice the last time you clicked the link. Because I done tricked you into jumping on there. You sounded stupid. You left immediately. Y'all can't outthink me, brother. And he says, I'm not a Trump supporter. That's what y'all all say. Now all of a sudden you're not Trump supporters. Y'all love Trump. You love Trump. And you cry when you hear me speak on Trump. Because I'm speaking the truth. And now you see Trump selling you Chinese shit. And the Chinese are the pimps of this motherfucker. Because the Chinese recognize hoes too. And not only they see the hoe in Trump, they see the hoe in you. Fucking idiots. Smoke they fentanyl. Cokehead bitch. Agent Matt says Trump sneakers classic. Says call Trump shoes says rebucks. And then Mark Summers says many of my favorite Americans in history are black. Of course they are. We are heroes, dummy. He says they actually spoke the truth. Oh, look at now Mark Summers want to be black power because he just heard me expose his favorite white guy. And now he no longer likes that white guy. But the truth of the matter is when you look at the things in history and the reason why people like Trump want to affect history and then go about their attempts at reprogramming, especially young whites, is that we are y'all heroes. We are the heroes to you guys. And even you would admit that shit tonight. Thank you for admitting that shit. Because that's just the way it is. And that's the thing they hate. And they can continue to move goalposts. But one day we got to concrete, weld that motherfucking goalpost so that it remains where it's at. And then I know Boxer says what's happening, brother. Just in here schooling Mark Summers and teaching them about who the true drug dealers is and the reason why China's coming back with this, new resurgence and kind of a repeat of what, Western society's done to them. And now they're repeating the same thing Western societies came in their country and did here in Western societies. Mark Summers says, no, working class, stay working class. No, you're not working class. Y'all working now because your parents and their addiction to heroin and cocaine, mushrooms and all shrooms, should I say, acid. That's why. You got old Roxbury ass parents. And then Mark Summers says, no, you're not a hero. No, I'm your hero too. That's why your dumb white ass come in here every day to hear me speak the shit I speak. And he says, no, you're definitely not we. Laugh out loud. This fool is definitely a fan of what I speak. And Velocity Cuss says, I used to see fiends, says, looking for crack says, they phone drop, says, so fuck, what you talking about? Says I aim for the stars and hit shit. Says and hit shit was a long shot. So I'm trying to get more bread, says than Patrick Mahomes got. This fool Velocity Cuss, we always covered it here with some rap lyric. Who shit is that? And then Mark Summers says there are many exceptional black Americans here. No, there's only exceptional black Americans in American history. Says you're not one of them. Oh no, I'm not trying to compete with the legends who come from the same bloodline I share. I'm not trying to compete with none of them. I only listen to them. I extract shit from them, just extrapolating the good shit. And even in some of the bad, fucked up folks amongst us, I've extrapolated the great shit from them and seen great shit. And some wicked motherfuckers who will blow a motherfucker who look like you, Mark Summers, to blow your head smooth off that motherfucker. But I only know the great in them. And that's what I highlight. So I don't know what you're talking about. True American, Mark Summers. I'm sorry you wrote a comment about me being anti-American, but all you would know from me is real American shit. You don't hear me talking about no other fucking countries. You don't hear me talking about cultures of other countries, celebrating that shit, wanting to see that shit. None of that. My land is America, homie, where we used to smoke motherfuckers who look like you. Think we had a war on this motherfucker. And so why should I go want to see another country in a place where we had a war in this motherfucker? And I want to know for retarded motherfucker you knew, like you, Mark Summers, even though I know your parents wasn't in this country, nobody in your family was in this country, but I know you heard about it. What was that war? So why the fuck would I look towards some other country? Am I going to look for Jesus over there and learn that shit you brought over here? I doubt it. And then Auto Boxing says China technology says is making America and the West look obsolete. Says the J50 jet says, and they got America. I mean, America on top of their shit. I ain't about to knock America and act like America ain't up there with China, but China ain't playing because China has an understanding of where they fell when you look back at history with them during these crises with Britain. And when they did decide to try to kick the British out of there, they lacked superiority on that water and could do nothing to keep them people out of there. And he says, and they got a car, says that puts any white person car to shame. I ain't about to say all that shit on no boxing. I mean, you went too far with that shit. I mean, China got some shit, but who knows? But they got some shit. They them really Mao Zedong, whatever his name, the guy who Mike Tyson has a tattoo of, he really turned that country's direction around, and he did it rapidly. And then the country is reaping the benefits of what he went about. And his thing of how he turned this country around was to wean it of this damn addiction brought over here by fucking terrorists who brought drugs into their communities, or not even their community, into their country. Mark Summers says you listen to the drunks outside the liquor store. It says you talk about, no, I would listen to a drunk before I listen to a person that looked like you or Donald Trump. Because there's certain knowledge you can gain from even a drunk. I don't gain, like I say, I listen to people, I extrapolate particular shit from people. You don't learn everything. That's why I say I don't follow nobody. But I do listen to motherfuckers. I'm a great ass listener. I think that's one of the dope motherfucking strengths of me is the fact I can listen when in conversations. I know how to listen without over talking to people. If I end up interrupt somebody during conversations, oh, my bad, go ahead. Continue to talk, because part of communications is listening. That's why I can have issues with motherfuckers on here. They can jump on here. You don't hear me over talking them. Speak. That's what these motherfuckers can pick up on. And then Velasquez says, hey, motherfucker, says, are you going to call for NY to fire Aaron Boone? Says, or what? Who is Aaron Boone? That sounds like some old baseball motherfucker. I think you're talking about, so what, the Yankees lost? Let me see. And I ain't no baseball watcher, so I wouldn't know. Let's see. The Yankees lose. Let's check it. Let's see. Oh, I see the damn Vegas girls about to win and shit. And this girl on here ready to eat coach after this win. Look at this shit. This girl from the Aces, Asia Wilson, whatever her name, she ready to go lick some kitty cat. She going to the locker room to become a licker. That motherfucker, she going to the liquor room. That's what they locker room called in the WNBA, the liquor room. And she got a long ass pearl tongue licking motherfucking tongue. And she about to go get busy with it. Says Jay knocks out Yankees. Says reach. Oh, so the Yankees lost. See, I knew you was talking some baseball shit. The fool you sound who name you brought up sound like a baseball fool's name. Why that ain't front page news? The Yankees done got booted that's the first round, huh? I didn't even know baseball was in playoffs and shit. That's how much I don't watch that shit. So these fools done lost in the first round, man. What's their owner? Steinbrenner? Who was the owner of the Yankees in the past? That fool done died and turned into shit. So the Dodgers got their ass whooped, but still winning. Dodgers one win away. Yeah, but no, you only hear me talk about some basketball, some football, and some boxing. The shit I watch. I don't watch baseball. But I knew that fool name sounded like a Aaron Boone. It sounded like some baseball shit. But no, I got to find this other video of Donald Trump coming to another show, how Jimmy Kimmel exposed him. That's one of the reasons why they target Jimmy as well, because the embarrassment Jimmy Kimmel brought to Donald Trump when bringing those items on there. I got to hold off on the comments while I find this, because like I told y'all, you ain't going to see all these comments coming from Mark Summers no more. I know how to take care of that through this motherfucker. And I know Boxer says, what is that? Says Max Extra says 8. What is that? The S800 car says, go look it up, Reg. Says, and tell me what you think of it. All right. I mean, don't speak on because it's aesthetically pleasing to your goddamn eyes. You think it's some old top-notch ass car. Because last time I checked, I hear the Chinese still be liking American vehicles and shit. Unless the Chinese say, don't bring that punk ass shit on. Chinese would just raise a huge tariff on American shit. Keep that shit out of here. Like Trump trying to play these, man, this old doodle ass car, that shit look like the damn Lotus. Here your old Chinese hyping ass go. This motherfucker, man, this is why I don't listen to people like Ano Box. This is one reason I don't listen to people. This fucking car is not dope. You don't get the fuck out of here. This stupid ass looking shit. Boy, these niggas just think, look at that dumb ass shit, man. Get the fuck out of here. I know you drive some stupid ass shit. I know boxing. I know boxing type of nigga just go to a car lot and find the dumbest looking car on the lot and say, I want it. He the type of nigga go buy that. Remember that damn car, the Pontiac Aztec? Let me see. How you spell Pontiac? Let me see. Pontiac. Oh, I got it right. Aztec. This nigga go to a car lot and go look for one of these motherfuckers. Man, get your dumb ass out of here. I know boxing. Man, fucking go. I want one of these. You got it in purple. You want that motherfucking purple or pink. That nigga hot pink with a fur pink steering wheel. Oh, fucking Nicki Minaj girl ass nigga. Get the fuck out of here. Nigga. What is Nicki Minaj people? They call the barbs. Wait, Nicki Minaj girl card shopping ass nigga. They gonna bring that whack ass Chinese car. Don't bring that bullshit over here. And then Velocity Cut says, hey, cuz says thoughts on the new details about Kyron Lacey. Says he went from villain to victim, shaking my head. Says he unalived himself, says for no reason. I don't think nothing of that shit. I hear they said that his actions, I seen something about his actions is what initiated. It was a crash, right? It was a crash that caused that shit. Why would he fucking kill himself? Like, you can't blame that shit on nobody. You can't blame that on law enforcement, none of that shit. They just said he was in the car, I guess, that hit somebody's car and caused their death and shit. But whatever he was doing this dumb shit that young motherfuckers do in these fucking cars, which makes no sense. Like I see these young cats put these kits on cars. That was like around here. There's a cat ready to go. I think this fool's going to Duke or somewhere. He went to Bishop Gorman. He was a star from Bishop Gorman High School. I believe that was either Bishop Gorman or he went to Faith Lutheran. One of these top level private schools out here. This fool over here driving his car like a fucking idiot, bat out of hell, doing dumb, unnecessary shit because the car guess can perform, but doing it in a dangerous area, run through a stop sign, T-bone somebody, kills him. No different than this stupid motherfucker with the Raiders. Kills that girl in her damn car she burned up in. It's a lot of these fools. So I don't think Lacey in there doing that dumb shit these young motherfuckers do in cars that can pick up speed and shit. It's one thing to pick that speed up, but they do it when it's 1,000 cars on the freeway. And then they like to do this shit. That's why I was saying the white kids doing earlier this morning. bouncing in and out of traffic, vroom, 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 doing all this other shit. Matter of fact, when we was in and when I took the trip to New York and we driving to DC, we over in the Jersey side, it's some fools with them damn what them cars called, the Challengers or something, with them little kits in them, engines in it, doing that same dumbass shit. And then we going up the road more. That fool on the side of the road because that car done overheated. He been probably driving the hell out of that car for who knows how long. So he shouldn't killed himself. Like he should have dealt with that shit. And face the news from there. But maybe he thought his dreams like, man, come on, man. I can't rock with him killing himself. And the guy by Sean says that's Bam Adi Abe. What is that? Adi Bayo from the Miami Heat. From the Miami Heat girl, says last game she says she loves to get them balls. Oh, she messed with a dude and shit. You talking about Asia Wilson? Okay, that's cool. She in there getting banged out and shit. And then I know Boxing said, but she probably in that locker room licking them her teammates kitty cat. And then Boxing says the interior says look good, Slim. Man, you go and look for dumbass cars. Man, I wouldn't take your advice on cars shopping after hearing you bring up that shit. You go to car lots and look for the dumbest shit that ever came out of production line. This fool is just trash and shit. If you got a family car, hopefully somebody else in the family picking that shit. I know Boxing there rolling because he know I'm telling the truth on that shit. I know Boxing, but guess who y'all don't see writing in the comments no more? I told you. You don't see that little Kensington, Pennsylvania ass motherfucker writing in the comments no more. Because early in the damn live stream, you go to the top, he just comment. And now he is going silent. I know Boxer says I'm going to stop putting you up on the new hotness. Says if you're going to clown me, Slim, man, I ain't about to listen to none of that shit. Look at Mark Summers. He gonna write a clown symbol in there. No, the clown is you, homie. And then you such a clown, you still in here listening, but you listen silently. You can't write any more shit. I stop on every comment you write in this motherfucker because you easy work. Velocity Cuss says, what's up with all these knuckle draggers calling young people YNs. I know, ain't that some idiotic shit? I don't rock with none of that stupid ass shit. It's just once again black people accepting, some thrown off terminology of how to identify themselves and how they want to be represented and shit. It's just the low classness in a lot of black folks. That's all that shit is. A lot of black folks accept being low class ass people, and the fact that they're raising low class, they want to see low class people who coming behind them, and then they'll complain about where we are as a people in a society. When rather than acknowledging these young people as youth, guiding them right, the YNs this, the YNs, and some of these young motherfuckers gonna live up to that shit. Some young people gonna live up to that shit. They want to be viewed in a negative light because some of that shit in certain communities brings attention to them, much needed attention. Because all these fools want attention. You can tell even from the cats who want to be gang members. They go live when they want to do drive-bys and shit. And then so I don't rock with that shit. I don't call them YNs. I don't catch on to none of that trend shit. They young individuals, or they just stupid motherfuckers is what I call them. And if Lysica says Slim probably drives a Scion XB. For real he do. Wait, the Scion, let me see. I had a chick that drove that. I think the Scion was making a, damn, what happened to Scion? They don't make the mugs no more. Oh, the box ass looking Scion. Yeah, the chick I had used to drive the little coupe one. Yeah, look at that shit. That car company went out of business or something, huh? I forgot about the Scion. Yeah, that fool drive that shit. It was that one, the Aztec got to be the ugliest fucking car I've ever seen in my life. And that's what I think I know boxing drive. Hold on, let me see what the Scions, they had another car. Damn, old girl used to drive that mug. I used to love when I see her pull up. Where's that mug? They had a little coupe one. Damn, maybe it was this one, the TC. Maybe that's the TC one she had. Y'all be like, look at her old fine ass. Yeah, that's what that mug was. Oh, but hold on. That's what I'm looking for, the Jimmy Kimmel. And he says Tisha Campbell called them YNs too. Have you ever paid attention to Tisha Campbell? Let me talk about Tisha Campbell and what you see with Tisha Campbell. Tisha Campbell is a divorcee who's struggling to fucking find herself. That's what the hell you see with Tisha Campbell. She's a divorcee struggling for identity, acceptance, not wanting to become old and shit. And therefore you see her with her behaviors, the shit she doing, the type of content she making. That's all that shit is, homie. But you wouldn't realize, you too dumb to even recognize shit. Wait, let me see. Trump closed from China. Wait, Trump on talk show with clothes from China. Let me see if that one pops up. There we go. Oh my God. The boy is a fucking genius, homie. It was David Letterman who brought him in after I think Jimmy did this shit. This is back in, his is, hold on. So wait, let me see. No, Jimmy's is, let me see. Old video, David Letterman was the guy. Because it was the Apprentice shit. And I think this shit killed off Donald Trump. This shit killed off Donald Trump's clothing line. That's why you don't hear people talk about Trump clothes anymore. When Trump was doing the Apprentice shit, that shit bubbled up. See, Jimmy did that shit when he was running through his campaign shit and exposed all this China shit. So it showed Trump never cleaned that shit up when he was exposed in 2012 by David Letterman. Hold on. Let me see. Do they have that video? Okay, well, here it is. Hold on, folks. Let me find this one. Hold on. Let me see where he brought Trump onto his show. Let me see. Hold on. That shit was funny. Let me see. Trump asks China, David. Okay, here we go. This is it. Here we go, God damn it. Let's get into this old fake ass American chump named Donald. Let's go into this shit. David Letterman exposing. Hold on. That ain't the video. Hold on. Wrong tab. I clicked the wrong tab. Let's go into David Letterman exposing this whole ass motherfucker. As much as he talks shit about China, but we go back to when he gets exposed by David Letterman. Woo! This was good TV because this during the time of The Apprentice when all the idiots of the world was on Donald Trump nutsack. Donald Trump, did you watch it last night? He said you're fired. Oh, I gotta buy the Art of the Deal book. The guys are just. Do we got that university? I need to go there and get education at the motherfucking Trump University. He's a genius. Look at him on TV. He's doing all this stuff. I'm going to buy his clothes. Donald Trump had all this business attire that dumb motherfuckers was buying up all this shit. Buying his ties. He charging all this money. When David Letterman did this shit and posted this shit, when this video we about to watch, you start seeing, because I used to have a lot of Donald Trump ties. Hold on, let me go look. I still got a bunch of ties. Like I said, I used to dress in that suit shit all the time. Hold on, folks. Let me see if I got a bunch of these mugs. Hold on. Let's see. 1 second. Yep. Your boy still got some of these mugs. Look at this shit. This is my enterprise days. Look at all these damn ties, man. I don't dress in none of this type of shit. Let me see. This is a Donald Trump tie. You start seeing these ties that the David Letterman did that shit. These ties used to go to Ross and shit. Hold on. Let me see. Let me find all the Donald Trump. And then I got ties that I end up getting rid of because I end up washing them and they got messed up. And then when I was at Enterprise, it'd be this one dude used to come there and sell ties. He'd be the tie man. Let me see. I got a shitload of ties. I don't even wear these mugs. It'd be almost to where the point. Is this a Donald Trump tie? No, this is Michael Kors. Hold on, where are my Donald Trump ties? Dang, I might have lost some of them because, like I said, I washed some of them and they went bad. But you start finding these mugs at. Oh, this is a Donald Trump tie too. Here go one. Hold on, we're gonna look at the label too. Let me talk about some American. This fool got all this hate from China shit that the China been pimping this hoe because they know he a bitch. So let's keep going. Like I said, I got ties galore. Let me see. Nope. I'm talking about I used to probably have like 50 fucking ties. Let me see. Nope. Nope. Hold on. We're going to pull. I'm going to see where these labels from. That a Trump one? Nope. Dang. They only got two. So it looked like I'm only have 2 Trump ties left. And I used to have a lot of Trump ties. Is this a Trump? Nope. Hold on, folks. Almost done. Almost done here. Hold on. Let's pull this up. But good, I had some Stacey Adams tie. Man, your boy used to be wearing that shit, all type of shit. He says, hold up, hold up, says they are literally Trump ties. I'm gonna show y'all the shit. I'm gonna play this David Letterman shit. With this fool up here playing this old pro-America shit and all this other dumb shit. Look, Donald Trump. Let me see if they show where it's made at. Let me see. Like they did on this one. Let me see. Or did I take it off? Hold on. Where do you find made? Where is made? Look, he try to have his emblem in that shit. Yeah, your boy got the Donald Trump ties. Oh, here we go. Let me see. Here we go. This there go the made thing. Look at that. Handmade in China. Okay. Hold on. I gotta go. Let me go check this closet. I probably got some more Donald Trump ties. And the ties used to be nice. Used to be nice ass ties. I said, I ain't wore this type of shit in years. Let me see. What we say? Where we made at? Where we made at? Handmade in their mug. Hold on. Let me go get up and find some more. Hold on. I know I got more ties. Hold on. Hold up. Hold up, folks, while we at this. Oh, hold on. Is this a Trumper? Oh, got another Trumper tie. Hold on. I'm talking about this fool had dope ass ties. This fool had dope ties. Hold on. Hold on, folks. Let your boy find these damn ties. Now I got a bunch of these clothes I need to throw away. Hold on, here I come. Damn, only found one more. But I probably used to have like 20 of Donald Trump ties. Hold on, folks. Your boy is back. Hold on. Like I said, I used to probably have like 20. I used to have like 20, maybe even more than that, of ties from this dummy. Look at it. Dope. These ties was dope, homie. Man, I used to be geared down in this shit. But look, the only reason I was buying it, because I never liked Donald Trump at all. Never liked that punk motherfucker. But his ties, you were seeing these mugs hitting raw. You think I would have brought one of these mugs? Hell no. Man, when David Letterman did that shit, he couldn't even sell his shit no more. That shit went straight to Ross. Man, I'm giving these ties for like, maybe they was 20. No, they might even been $20. They was on the racks, homie. So let's go into this shit David Letterman did. So when Trump talking all this shit in his apprentice days and what David Letterman did. That's why Donald Trump be saying ill shit about David Letterman.
Now you endorsed Governor Romney. Are you in contact with him all the time?
Yes.
What do you guys talk about?
Just general. I tell you what, he has a stance on China, which is a country that's just ripping our heart out.
Listen to this whole
thing to protect ourselves that I really like.
As a line of clothing. Now, where are these made?
These were made, I don't know where they were made, but they were made someplace. But they're great. It's ties, shirts, cufflinks, everything sold at Macy's, and they're doing great. #1 selling tie anywhere in the world.
Yeah. Look at that. Oh, man, these are some fancy, dancy ass ties. And they were selling, you heard what he said, Macy's. Them motherfuckers went straight to Ross. Macy's couldn't sell that shit. Man, this is a fraud, homie.
#1 selling tie anywhere in the world. You wouldn't wear that?
#1 selling.
White and beautiful.
Where are the shirts made? Bangladesh.
Well, it's good. We employ people in Bangladesh.
Ties? Where are the ties made? These are beautiful ties.
They are great ties.
The ties are made in where? China? Ties are made in China.
Man, I'm an expert on this pussy ass punk. Look at his reaction to that shit. Look at his reaction. He a whole ass motherfucker. Look at this. Look at him. Look at him. Embarrass this whole ass motherfucker. Them ties immediately. Macy says, man, take all this shit. Ross, you want it? You want this shit, Ross?
Made in China.
Look, Trump want this nigga. Trump want to smoke David Letterman over this shit. He ready to put one in his head. Mark Summers, don't laugh now. You a Trump knee walking motherfucker. You don't laugh, Mark Summers. Just open your mouth, because at some point Trump need to piss.
Well, I'll tell you, and you know what, David, in all fairness,
Look.
I've been very open about that, and not all of them, by the way, but I've been very open about that. Are you okay? Is the
No,
chair
I'm
was
fine.
made in China.
I know.
Chair was
The
made in
chair
China.
was made in China.
Ah, he embarrassed.
Because of the manipulation of the currency, their currency, when you go out, it's very hard to get product that isn't made in China.
Well, now listen. Here's what the deal is. Let's do this.
How do you like that?
I think they're beautiful. Absolutely
Nice
beautiful.
ties.
I don't really have a problem with helping people who need a job. I would like people in this country to get first preference. But
Hello?
I agree.
Hello?
100%.
This dumb motherfucker agreed, but he ain't make none of that shit here. Hello?
You buy that at Macy's, by the way.
let's just
Hey, look, buy that at Macy's. That was the end of that shit. Macy's said, get all this shit up out of here. The American people said, we ain't buying this shit no more. And I was going to the Ross because I used to be suited all the fucking time, buying ties. I used to have a shitload of ties. And that's why, because I know CJ be asking, man, Reg used to always dress, man. I'd be one of my, I always wore white t-shirts too. I've been wearing this since I got out the army, but I was like, man, fuck all that dressing up shit.
shut down the Donald Trump factory in Beijing.
I would love to.
And we'll put up a tie factory in the Jamaica Queen.
I love it.
And we'll make the Donald Trump ties.
I'm for it.
He a fucking lie. I'm for it. Okay, Forrest, you're for it, Mr. Forrest. That fool got embarrassed like a motherfucker. And now he feel like the clown that he is. So, Mark Summers, don't ever call Reg anti-America. This dummy y'all put in the White House is the real anti-American, the anti-Christ, the enemy of America, homie. Salute to David Letterman. Salute to Jimmy Kimmel for exposing this clown. And Jimmy's the one that came. It's David Letterman, because I remember Trump was on one of their shows. And then years later, when Trump ran his campaign, Jimmy exposing all this shit made in China. He got all this negative shit to talk about China. Even when doing this video, China is manipulating. Why you making this shit over there? China own you hoes, because you old stupid little rich punks trying to fill your own pockets done fucked around and fucked up. And the Velocity Cuss says, no, it says Toyota says on Scion, says an accident says because they weren't selling. Okay, that's what happened to the Scion. Okay, I got you. Because I used to see those are, you know what happened to Scions? Scions were cars for younger people, like the high school age and like young college kids and shit. And then Asian Mass says China winning the car, and aviation tech war. Where the fuck y'all get that fake ass information? The two biggest, see, this is how I know y'all don't be knowing shit about none of this shit. The biggest car manufacturers are probably going to be in Europe, Japan, and America. In the aviation world, it's France and America, homie. Not no China. China don't even fly their own planes in their country. They going through, and matter of fact, I got a research paper from decades ago about the Chinese airplane. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find that presentation. Give Reg 1 second. No, let me go through the comments, and I'll pull up this presentation I did in the group. China ain't nowhere on the board with aviation, bro. They may make military jets, but aviation commercial shit, no. He says the jet says, y'all just be one that, we don't. I dislike the motherfuckers in this country, especially the wealth class of people in this country who are a bunch of full of shit ass people. But America is still a top-notch country. You're just dealing with the issues of the way in which American citizens are the problem. Much as the wealthy are the problem, American citizens are. American citizens no different than bitches in a club who go to the club to get fucked by some old rich dude and then come back to get really banged out by a regular dude. And then Jay Finley in the building, what up, bro? And then Mark Sumner says China's just stealing from other nations like Korea. No, China's not. China's going in there investing. China ain't doing what white countries have done. China goes into countries, invests. These countries love working with China, and that's what it is. When America could have went in there, Britain could have went in there, France could have went in there, rather than going in there by hostile takeover, forcing these people into a way of living and not giving back to these motherfuckers. And when they leave these countries torn apart and fucked up. But when you look into China in there investing shit over there, even over here, this is how I know when I know an African is in America. Is when you see a black motherfucker and you go into certain areas and you see a Toyota driven by these motherfuckers, you know they up out of Africa. Africans love them a good old Toyota car. And the fact that those cars last a very long time for them as well. Those cars are very reliable for them. And he says, but China's still in, I doubt it. Do people not like seeing Chinese over the continent of Africa? Yeah, but when you look at it, are they enslaving these people? No. China can, and the minute the Africans get out of line and want to cause disruption because of ignorant ass black folks in America who don't know what they fucking talking about, have things to say, trying to pull their investments out, then what these countries do? These countries welcome the Chinese over there and shit. And then Jay Finley says, what did I miss? Oh, you just missed me schooling people like Mark Summers and then talking about the opium wars from back in the day. And then how it looks like China's taking retribution against these countries who brought that shit over there as they deliver a fentanyl dosage that is, wiping out a lot of people in this country. And then Mark Summers says, but you don't know that. I don't even know what you're talking about anymore because you don't know how to write. And Jay Finley says, Mark Summers says Korea is stealing from Korea. For real. I'm telling you, Mark Summers is just the ignorant white dude, don't know what he's talking about. And Mark Summers says you were buying Trump ties. Says, wow, says the history of the TDS runs deep. Nah, Reds don't got none of that shit. I know who have TDS, that little dumb white broad that Trump had at his conference where the dumb, ugly bitch talking about, I even feel like I got more beautiful. I used to suffer TDS and my life improved once I stopped having TDS. I like this dumb bitch. Is Trump paying motherfuckers to kiss his ass? God damn, boy, y'all some hoe-ass people in this country. That's why no American listens to these motherfuckers. Velocity cuts in a rolling. Mark Summers says he didn't sign an autograph for you. He says he didn't sign an autograph for you one time. Says, or wouldn't take a picture with you. Nah, I found these motherfucking ties of Trump on the clearance rack thanks to David Letterman. Cha-ching. I used to be at work, fresh to the motherfucker in my little Enterprise dressed up fits. And then Jay Finley says, damn, cheap ass ties. And then Agent Matt says China makes the Avatar 12. Says in the Hanku series, man, nobody buying no Chinese ass cars. Only thing I want from China is shirts and shit. And then God by Sean says China aftermarket car parts are trash. Yeah, these fools in here don't be know what they talking about. Like nobody buying no Chinese plain our car. Like shit. And then Jay Finley says, hold up, says they are literally Trump ties. Yeah, I got Trump ties from China. China buy. My tie probably got China buys. They'll probably hot caught COVID buying a fucking Trump tie. God damn, I gotta get rid of these motherfuckers. Trump them brought the COVID to this country with them clothes he got. They was stored in boxes of his clothes and shit. That's how we got that shit over here. I'm figuring all type of shit out now, man. That's why it's important to go back in history. And then you discover shit. That nigga brought the damn virus here in his clothing. Buying all that Chinese shit. Why talking shit? And then Better Luck next time says, wow, Reggie was mega. Nah, never that shit. Reggie was at Ross buying this punk motherfucker shit. And then Mark Summers says you were a Trump fan. Never in life, homie. Never would you ever find any evidence of me supporting Trump ever in life. Even when I was at school working on my degree and being the only black dude in my fucking classes and would school these white folks who had all this shit to say about Donald Trump kissing his ass. And I'd be like, man, Trump is a fucking idiot. He ain't nothing but a bankrupt idiot. And y'all sitting there watching a stupid ass show thinking something special. That's what ended up spinning into his political success is that TV show. That's simply it. All these dumb motherfuckers voted for a Hollywood star, reminiscent of some Ronald Reagan shit. And then B. Jennings in the building says, wow, says, never saw this. Man, I'll be up on shit, B. Jennings. And it says, damn, says David did set him up. Says that's cold. Yeah, David Letterman did him cold as fuck. That ruined. That's why he stopped selling that clothing. His clothing line was number one in the world. That motherfucker David Letterman did that shit. Clothes sales did this. Mace said, get this shit up out of here. Bring some Sean John and 50 Cent shit up in here. Hey, fuck that. Move Trump shit to the side. Put Diddy, Sean John, and oh wait, who shit was Sean John? Yeah, Puffy shit was Sean John. Bring some of that Rockefeller shit and bring some G Unit shit. We gonna put urban shit on this motherfucker. Yeah, David Letterman was cold blooded for that shit. Better luck next time says checkmate. Y'all in the rolling. A lot of y'all never seen that shit. And watch that video regain legs. Watch, it's gonna be a resurgence of that video right there. And then Mark Summers says the way you imagine things is not reality. No, I just speak the reality, Mark Summers. Sorry, people from your community don't want to accept it. But you do accept them drugs up your nostrils. That's why China is gaining ground, because of the nostrils of you narcotic sniffing motherfucking human beings. Know where all the dope at. And then Jay Finley says, why would David Letterman do this to this? Why would David Letterman do this to his guest? Because David Letterman is a genius. And then I know Boxing says, because David Letterman knows a little hot air breathing motherfucker like Donald Trump, and he should have exposed him. Because Trump was doing all this negative shit speaking about China. And then they were finding out that some of his constructions, the steel was coming from China. All this other shit he has to say about China, but he's taking his ass right over there. He's a fraud. And then I know Boxy says the Agent Math says I just told Reg about the S800 car. It says the Reg tried to clown it. Man, that car looked like shit. And then I know Boxy says that you also have a Trump dress suit. Says in a Trump wig. Man, I would wear nothing but them damn ties. And then I probably had a Trump shirt. Who knows? I probably do got a Trump shirt up in there. And then Mark Summers says Agent Master is shopping for cars on Temu. Yeah, for one, a Temu car from out of China and shit. And then Auto Boxes says that a Trump white t-shirt says you got on? Hell fucking no. You won't see me wear nothing from Trump unless it's a tie. And I don't wear ties no more. Them days over with. Man, I'll be hard pressed to want to wear suits and all that shit. Man, I got over that shit. Oh, let me find my presentation on this Chinese jet shit. I know I still got that file. Like I said, I went to Aeronautics University, so I used to do all these let me see. I used to do all these damn presentations and shit. All right, let me make sure this thing organized is from oldest first. Yeah, let me go. I got little files on accident investigation presentations, history of Southwest Airlines. Where is this one I did on? A FedEx presentation, Singapore crash for crash investigation course I took. Where's this one on? Hold on. Let me see. Oh, yeah, here's our summary on, what is this? This is a crash here. Let me see. Can I go through this one? This is a PowerPoint presentation. Look, this is the old shit I used to be doing in presentations in classes. Shit. Hold on, let me see. Look, this is my old presentation. Who was it? Me and then who was working on me and the dude named Arby. He's a dude worked for General Electric, I think. He worked for GE. But hold on, let me find this one I did on the Chinese jet. Is this a video? That's a video in there. It says the descent rate. We do this presentation, present all this shit. Mind, this presentation is, this shit gotta be like 2007 or some shit. Yeah, this definitely gotta be 2007. I think we did this presentation. Hold on, but let me look for this one on. Oh wait, hold on. Let me take this off the screen. I'm telling you, your boy was on this pursuing that aviation shit till Bush fucked the economy up. Let me see. I was on all type of shit. That's why I be having all these damn stories on shit. Where's this Chinese jet shit I did? I know I got to upload, or it might be on thumb drive somewhere if I can't find it on here. Let me see. What is this? Let me see. I had a stock. Is this some stock shit? Yep, stocks project. But what's this? Then this from back in 2007. Damn, this shit is 18 years old. Wait, 2007. What that make? This project is 18 years old. I still got this shit. I wonder what made me upload it to saving it on here. Hold on, let me find this China jet shit since Asian math love putting up Chinese shit and don't be knowing about none of that shit. Hold on, that ain't it. Give me 1 second. Hold off on them comments, people. Damn, this one is on Bankrupt Airlines. What is this one on? Oh, I know those copy notes. I think I upload that shit. Hold on. That's why I think I'm good at talking on here, because I used to have to do all these presentations in front of people and shit. Be in front of the class doing presentations and shit. Oh, I got one on. This one says Air France. What is this? What is this one on? Air France product segment. Is this something I did? Yup, this is another one I did. Something on Air France. And then just elaborate on that shit. Hold on, but that ain't it. Hold on. Let me find this plane, because it's that same plane. So mine, all these presentations I was doing is from like 2006, 2000, whatever it is. And they was talking about this Chinese jet shit. And during its, what is this one? Is this a plane crash? Com Air Flight 5194. Yep, this is a crash investigation shit I did. Let me see. Yeah, this is some crash investigation shit. I did I did all type of fucking courses on that aviation shit. Hold on, let me see. Where's this fucking plane shit at? I did a presentation on this airport they about to build out here in Vegas and shit years ago, that they plan to be out here as a feeder airport to McCarran. But where is this one at? Oh, I know I seen this shit because I was looking for a video of one of these old freaks I had on video. And then I came across that shit. Oh, this is a project I did with the homie. I'll be telling that story when he had the gun in class and I found out he was a sheriff. This is a project I did with this fool. Oh, let me see. Damn, yeah, these mugs. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me see. I know that shit's still on here. Wait, this is a blank doc. Nothing. Then make sure I got one of these old hoes I got on here. Where is this mug? What's this? Financial report. Oh, I'm gonna find this Chinese jet one. Let's see, what's this one? Oh, this the homie with air traffic controller. This is me and his project. Let me see. Financial analysis. So this was me and the homie with air traffic controller. Me and his project. From Anthony Bunch, American Airlines financial analysis. Tell me, man, I used to do all type of fucking shit, homie. All type of research papers and all this shit, putting this shit together. That shit ain't lined up because I ain't got yeah, so don't talk aviation shit on here with me, fools. Wait, where is this shit at? What is Chinese playing at? Hold on 1 second. Final draft, what's that? Yeah, this is what I wrote. Boeing accounting. This is some Boeing accounting shit. Look, accounting documents. Let me see. And what's in this one? Yep, here goes some other shit, some accounting shit. This for some Boeing shit. Then so I did this in 2010. So this is 2010 paper. That's what, 15 years ago? Y'all got a bunch of old ass shit. Yeah, I ended up coming across this shit the other day. And I know that Chinese shit on here. Hold on. It's Boeing accounting. I think I got my that police shit when I was doing that police shit, them emails we was having and shit. Hold on, what's this? Midterm. No, that ain't it. Then that's 2012. Then I got a lot of old shit. I'd be like, damn, I was doing this shit. Oh, what's this? Airport group project. Oh, this that. Let me see if this that airport one. Hold on. Airport issues. Says airport issues. Think that's my part. That ain't the Vegas one. Where that Chinese shit at? That's a midterm. Oh, your boy about to find this shit. Damn, got all type of shit. And then I'm gonna go back in these comments. Let me see. See, runway incursion. That's a crash. I should have labeled that. Where that China shit? All right, that's another runway shit. You're doing all type of fucking presentations. I'm talking about I used to be. That's why I be flowing with this YouTube talking shit, just being in front of people doing presentations and shit. Oh, here go my I did one on the Vegas airport. This is way before I ever moved out here. I don't know what made me do a paper on the Vegas airport when it was called McCarran and shit. Dude, this shit got a date on it. Damn, I wish I'd had a date on that shit. And this the one. Blah blah. This speaks about that. Yeah, this got to be 2000. Says a recent news the airport has broken ground on a 99 million air traffic control tower. So the facility is expected to be operational early 2015. So I must have did this paper in 10. I must have did this in 2010 maybe. Because I think I'm done with school before. I'm done with school in 2015. So that got to be 2010 or something when I do that shit. That's an airport document. That's McCarran. There's more papers to that. Where my China plane shit at? My China plane. Oh, here go my old little puppy, man. Here go my old little doggy, man. This is my old little dog. I used to like this little motherfucker. Love that little shitbag ass dog. Let me see. Let me see. Groups the attention. Hold on, that's a video. Hold on. I know I'm gonna find this mother. Hold on, folks. Data mining. No, I gotta do some research on data mining. That's what that shit is. We'll find those preparing for us. Nora, what the hell is that? Y'all got a lot of shit. See, supply chain. That's why I'm working at the VA. Got some of these naked bras right here. Make sure I got my share screen yet. Let me see. Yeah, no, Mark Sumner's been ran off. Man, when I was clowning about his drug use, being a dope fiend and shit. What's this one? Market says financial marketing, strategic analysis. Let me see. What's this one? Oh, look, here goes some other shit. Then I still got that same ass email. This is my PowerPoint presentation. Damn, I had that many slides on this shit. They might have a lot of slides. I said, nigga be up there presenting, homie. And so I got to be doing, so this got to be from 2011 when I did this shit. What is this? Wait, yeah, this 2011 when I did this. That's where this balance sheet shit is. Yep, so that's what, 14 years ago? Damn. Damn, time be flying. Time be flying. I got a bunch of them type presentations. But I'm looking for my China influences on consumer decision making, current events. Let me see, what's this one? That's a doc. I'm glad I saved this shit too. I'm glad I saved all this shit. Let me see, what's this one? Then where's that China plane shit? Matter of fact, I'm gonna present that motherfucker if I find it. I'm gonna present that shit. See what we was talking about. Cause when we did it was when it was rumored. I think they had found information on that plane. Let's see, where's this shit at? Let's see. This is Allegiant President. Oh, that's when we putting information together, researching. This is resume. Getting help on a resume to get a job. Oh, this one I'm coming out here to Vegas. Oh, here go that video. Here go a video from when that lady. Look, here go a white lady when I worked at Enterprise. Hold on, let me show this shit. This white lady got mad, but she had to try to go off on me because I told her I had to ask her this shit because I don't know if she gonna steal a car. This bitch got mad. And these girls work at the rental car next to me recorded this shit. Let me play this shit. Hold on, watch this lady. Watch how mad she get. I had to tell Mark Sumner's sister that she a thief and I don't know her. Look how mad this lady get. Let me see. How do it come up? It's coming up widescreen. Oh, let me check when it pop up. All right, there it goes. It's good. So let me turn the volume up on this shit. Watch how mad this lady get. So look. She come through this mug mine. She come back. Whatever she rented the car, she mad because I asked her. I was asking this information because she was using the credit. I do it like anybody else. Like, give me a phone number. Whoop. I call these people up, checking them. Like, shit, I'm gonna do whatever Enterprise got the rules for. I don't give a fuck what you are. I'm gonna do the same shit with you. And so I'm like, get all this shit. So this chick, she in a rush. She got to go. She want to argue. I said, listen, lady, You want to argue, you can go downstairs, go to the left, and go talk to the managers, tell them Reggie sent you. And you can tell them whatever your problem is, but you talk to the wrong person. So she come back like 3 days later. This on like the weekend I'm working. This lady walk in there and start going off. Watch how mad she get.
I returned the check card and I'm talking to you right now. Don't ever ask for that shit again. Fucking idiot. You don't know how to do your fucking job? I hope you ask everybody that and not just me.
Look.
Do you ask everybody that shit or just me? Because then I got a problem with you. Okay, then I'll talk to the fucking manager right now. Because I don't know what the fucking problem is. Okay, and I got time for that.
Ah, she mad as fuck. Hey, that's what I do to people now at jobs. Hey, man, I ain't got time to say none of that shit. You want the corporate office number? I give you that shit. Or I'll tell you how to get to that mug. But let me see. Let me see what else I got on this mug. That lady was mad. She was hotter than frizz grease over that shit. And then I had an old white dude, man. This is during when they had that country shit coming here. And this motherfucker walk up on me and throw his ID at me on some like boy shit. I look at that nigga ID when he threw it, I tossed that shit at his motherfucking ass. And he looked, I said, man, I stood up because we sit on these stools. I stood up. I said, homie, you better watch who you throwing anything at. I said, don't come walking up here playing that tough ish. And I'm talking, and then like, cause when I do shit, I'm making direct. I ain't got to make no scene, none of that shit. But people see me throw the damn ID back at him. His wife look all shocked. They came from somewhere out the damn South where they used to, I guess they used to talking to black folks like this and shit. That motherfucker was shocked in a motherfucker when I did that shit. And then I stood up off that chair and I leaned over that counter. I said, hey, don't play none of that tough shit with me. I said, you better watch who you dealing with. I said, or you can go find somebody else to help you. Cause I told him just like, I said, I ain't messing with you. I said, you can wait when one of them finish, you can go get in line with one of them. Or if you want to go talk to the managers, I said, you can go right down them stairs and like how I told that lady in that video, and you bust that left over and go talk to them. My name Reggie, by the way. But I said, don't ever play that tough shit with me. that old white man, I think he may have went downstairs. I don't even think they talked to me because they already knew how I was. I'm like, I'm big on that respect shit. I don't give a fuck what you look like. So it probably was Mark Summers' granddaddy. I had to check his whole ass too. Coming in here with that old backwood ass shit. Let me see what else I got in here. Then this is a presentation too. This is 100 and no, this is from Boeing. I think this one Boeing offered me an internship. Then I had that shit. I probably got the email from Boeing. Man, I thought I was about to leave to go to Washington to get a Boeing job. And that's the thing with the aviation industry. Them motherfuckers go on strike. Them motherfuckers strike so damn much. I think I was supposed to go in like a week or something. It might have been something short of that. And they was paying. I was like, man, that was going to be my gravy train. Your boy on the way. Them niggas went on a big ass strike. You sons of bitches. What's this? Some finance shit. Where's this goddamn paper, man? Homie, I got presentations galore. Let me see. Where's this shit at? This some Southwest shit. Yeah, this aviation shit was my shit. But like I say, that internship was gonna be my little opening into the world of aviation. But then them fools was. Then what year was this? This even before the fucking This was even before even the housing crisis ended up blowing the economy up. This is before all that. And let me see. Yep, no, all this other stuff is when I moved out here. Damn, I can't find it. Well, fuck that. One day I'm gonna find it, but I came across some cool shit. Damn, all this other stuff is here. Yeah, this stuff is Las Vegas shit. So yeah. Let me see. Maybe I put it in here later or something. And where's that China? Because it's a good ass presentation too. It's a good ass presentation. And let me see. Hold on, let me go folders. Do I got folders? Hold on, let me see. Boom, boom. Oh, I got this report on that bank, that little corrupt ass bank. Hold on. What else we got? Okay, here we go. We got something. Building that. Dun, 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 dun. Nope. All right, fuck all that. I'll find that. I'm gonna find that document. I know I got it somewhere in an email somewhere, or on the thumb drive somewhere. Where we at? Now I see Deuce Times in the building. Let me see what funny ass comments this nigga done wrote. And it said Fisher Price, my first PowerPoint. I know this old hated ass nigga. Let me see. Let me go with Deuce comments. And then Deuce says, but yeah, I had to school all these old fake ass, hating on America ass goofballs in here. Deuce Times says, really, Reg Earnhardt. He said, what's up? What's up? Arnold Baxter says, shoot, says the baddest blood this side of the Mississippi. Says, just walked in the chat. Deuce Time, West Side. And then he says not the nostrils. Says Trump and his company says hold 119 trademarks in mainland China, plus 21 in Hong Kong and Macau. Says both China controlled, compared to 56 in the U.S. Says in its territories. Yeah, Trump a fraud. Deuce Time, you showed up late when I was doing the presentation from David Letterman about how fraudulent your favorite president is, the only president you ever liked. And then Deuce Time says I don't know boxing. Says salute. And then he says, and that was as of 2023. And then he says he laughing at Deuce Times. And then Deuce Times says, million view Mark says political says analytic expert. This fool hate on anything about that fool Trump. Says Fisher Price, my first PowerPoint. And then says you done messed up now. Says Deuce and Mark says done slid in. Says they about to clobber you with knowledge. Says don't run, Reg. Man, I hold the knowledge, homie. And he see laughing at Deuce says that says the fashion icon. And he says, damn, says this dude is obsessed with says with panel crash. Says with damn, this fool Mark can't write for shit. Says panel crash. It says I'm surprised he ain't in no says ain't in the no fly list. He meant plane crashes. No, because I was in classes where we did investigation, aircraft investigation courses and shit. And then he says to Arno Boxer says, check out the J-50 jet, says China God, says supposed to put all our military jets to shame. You won't know until they go and fight each other up in the sky. And then they can look cool and all that shit. You don't know what a plane to do until it's fighting in the sky. And he says, yeah, it says nothing like looking back at your old tape. Says be like, damn, says I wonder how Kim is doing. Man, yeah, I'll be looking at, man, I used to have a lot. I used to have so many of them stories I'll be telling. I had in my camera, I had uploaded them and shit, man. My kid's mom discovered that shit, got mad to the mother. She deleted all that shit. And then I had the motherfuckers hidden in my I had the mugs hidden in my email. That motherfucker found out how to get my email and deleted all that shit. Man, and you best believe she probably sick. I'm talking about I had hey, man, I'm talking about different hoes. It was it probably like 40, 50 different bitches in these videos. That motherfucker deleted all my old stash. Like, damn, now I'm all left is with memories. The memories. Good thing I got all my brain cells. I'll be remembering shit. This time says Trump has an 85% has a 85.4% of breeding 700 octaves of carbon emissions. Says underlined by 3.7% interest. Says an interest spike. Says with inflation minus says appreciated value of growth. Mark Nash. Oh, this one Deuce wrote. He says, man, boo. Says we don't want to see your old accounting documents. Man, I'm a genius, homie. That's why I be looking back, man. That's why so great at speaking in public speaking and shit. Because I used to do all them presentations, do all my research if I study, make sure I ain't chilling with a bitch all week. I'm supposed to be doing my research and shit. And then I'll be 100% in that mug. I start getting good at that shit. This time says Rez did that PowerPoint, says he did that PowerPoint on an IBM computer. Then I don't even know what I had, man. When that iPad came out, I brought an iPad in '08. I had got some school money and brought an iPad. Man, I used to be like, man, I'm about to be really sitting up here knocking out my homework. Then how was I doing? No, I had an old, what's that old computer? I had an old Dell, I think, with the little bubbly screen on it. That shit was like an old, outdated ass computer. And then the iPad came out, and I just got a financial aid check, nigga. I took the bus, nigga. I took the bus to the Cerritos Mall. To the Cerritos Mall outside the Apple store, man, and got that motherfucker. I did more taking pictures and updated shit than I did any homework on that motherfucker. And I know Box says, wow, says you was really smart back then. Says, what happened? Just got even more smarter. Says, why you so dumb now? Says, no, I'm only around dummies. That's what it is. Says, you the true definition of hustling backwards. Mark says, this man says has went down a rabbit hole. Says, and now showing a 50-year-old homework. Says, what the hell going on? Man, just showing the genius, the true genius of a black nigga out the hood. And he says, this was us. This is back when ninjas had AOL, says, in Black Planet. Man, I'll be tripping on that shit on some of them documents almost 20 fucking years ago. That shit crazy to me. And I got more of that shit. Those are just the ones in files. I'm gonna find that China plane shit I did. And he says, bro was on the dial-up modem sending his term papers. Now, you know what they hit us with, man? This one professor, man, had, because we was doing plagiarism like a motherfucker. We used to have papers due. Man, you have like 50, 20, you have 30 and 50 page writings to put in. Then they said had that writing format. What was that shit? What's the writing formats? You have to write in a certain writing format style and shit. Man, we go on. Everybody was on shit like copy and paste and shit. May change a word here, copy paste. You had to submit it through this special program. You submit your papers when you turn in that motherfucking program. That program was catching every fucking plagiarized words you pulled up. That shit was so spot on. It would even send back to the teacher when they present that shit. It wouldn't accept your paper because you get kicked out for plagiarism too. They'll give you a warning. That shit showed like the sites you get this shit from, woo. But then I'd start getting smart, like finding certain shit I want to take from this shit. Well, not even get smart. You had to do the work. You had to really write the shit out. And then auto boxing and the rolling. But yeah, they cracked down on that because of the computer started allowing people to copy and paste shit. And then he says Reg is the most reminiscent on the internet. Man, ain't nothing like memories, homie. That's why I did this live stream today. Talking to one of OG cats. We was talking about all these fools out here on dope. And he was talking about the fentanyl and shit. And then we get to talk about the opium wars and shit. Everything's reminiscent, homie. Man, especially we done live lives how we lived them and get to reflect on shit. Like, so yeah, ain't nothing better than reminiscing. Why should you forget the past? I think that's the worst thing. I think that's the worst thing people do is forget the fucking past. Some people be afraid to speak. Man, speak on that shit. No, it wasn't Time Roman. No, Time Roman is that font. No, it's these writing styles. It's MLA and it's some other writing styles. Hold on. Let me see. It's called MLA, but they used to do this other style of writing. MLA format versus, was it APA? I think it is called APA format. Yeah, MLA versus this APA format of writing. That's the shit we used to have to do. It says American, what is that? What is that? Physicological Association. So different forms of writing. That's what we used to have to do in that shit. This is what that shit is. or psychological association. So that's what it is. American Psychological Associations versus modern language. So yeah, we just have to do these styles of writing and shit. Citations, formatting, all this other bullshit you got to do on them and shit. Structuring your writing, all that other shit. That's why I be getting on motherfuckers. That's why I be like, I get to the point where I be hating when I see some of y'all fucked up writing in here. So yeah, understand where your boy coming from when I be on that shit about y'all writing. Deuce says, remember when Mondays, man, Deuce, you gotta open your brain, homie. Start reminiscing, my brother. Don't forget your past. Don't cry about shit. Leave things in the past. Man, I laugh at all this shit. Martinez being a rolling says, take it back Tuesday. Is today Tuesday? Oh, way back Wednesday. Throwback Thursday. Flashback Friday. Absolutely, homie. And then Auto Boxing says show us the homework assignment says you turned in. It says back in 97. It says it's really fascinating. Flashback Friday. It says Monday memories, man. I go down memory lane like a motherfucker, homie. Crazy as fuck to forget shit. I think people are fools that want to forget shit. It ain't that much bad shit in your life to forget shit. And then God Body Sean says you ran Mark off. Yeah, I'm glad I ran his Mark ass off. And then Dusan says facts. Mark says says he put him to sleep. Says going through his old classwork. Says hey, Red says how did you like working at the VA? That shit was cool. It was only a work study. I did that work study shit because one of the cats in my class was a director in that logistics shit. But after I went through that inventory shit and went into that psych ward shit, I was cool on that shit. I really didn't want to go back up there. I got cool on that shit. I stayed there long enough to finish that work study program, but I was really cool after that shit. Like going through that, because I was going through all that shit, inventorying all that shit. I ended up in that psych ward, inventorying the shit in there, not knowing it. Until I went through that first, until I went and wondered why it's like double doors. They unlock one door, then another one. I went like, what the fuck? But then I was lightweight intrigued, like, damn, people's minds really get fucked up like that. But the shit lightweight had me shook. But I was like fucked up because I'm like seeing those people's faces for like, I was seeing those people's faces for like a day or two. Not on no nightmare shit, but looking and then thinking like, damn, it's like really people's parents that are fucked up and locked in these type of institutions and shit. And then Mardad says, I was thinking about working there at one point. I was just at one time. Yeah, no, I was in there for a work study program. But when I go to VA now, they somehow, because I don't know if our old dude had me employed in that mug. When I go to VA, when I go in there and I check in, they'll think that I work there because my name is somehow still in there like I was employed by the VA. And then Auto Boxing says facts. Says, why are you talking about old homework papers? Man, because y'all ain't never done them. Showing you that anything's possible. And then Mark says, Auto Boxing says it's addictive. Says looking through old things. Says it's like a time machine. Says taking you a journey. Says through your memories and thoughts. Says give time to reflect. Facts. These fools don't know nothing about it because they ain't never done nothing in life. Man, ain't nothing like a memory lane. Man, I'll be going through that shit. I laugh at shit. Memory lane let you not forget motherfuckers that ain't here. Because I think about old motherfucker relatives, people in the neighborhood, friends, people we looked up to who is dead. Man, them motherfuckers stay alive with me. I remember all these old motherfuckers. And then look at the tragedy behind a lot of people, man. Like, I would never reject not looking back in the past. Motherfuckers got me fucked up saying, why you going back in the past? Because your shit look like shit. And then Mark says you rewind it so we can so we can hear it again. Says was she on the phone? Says in the office. No, the lady was in front of me. Says why did he throw it? Oh, because he came up because he seen a black nigga at the desk. That's why he did that shit. That's the only reason I can say that white dude did that shit, because I was black. And he probably used to black people just, okay, yes, sir. He was used to that shit. Man, I used to say a lot of shit to them white folks used to come through Enterprise. They used to have them fucked up. They turn red and then they wouldn't say shit. Maybe because I'd be witty, they wouldn't say shit. Like I done been in, I got stories. I got stories jumping out on motherfuckers in them cars. Then I had this one dude, this fool was picked me up from the RV little spot out here in Vegas. I got that luxury where I put those videos of those $2 million RVs and shit. It's that RV little park and shit. We was dropping off cars there. So I used to like going down there because I like RVs. And we was dropping an RV to somebody. So the dude who used to work in our motorcycle side of shit, he come pick me up. And he picked me up in a van that's wrapped. And so when we riding back, so when he picked me up, we riding back. I'm talking, this nigga used to always talk this old Chicago shit. Man, yeah, man, we be on the south side, all this Chicago shit. And then he be saying shit about how he checking Italian people out there and this and that. He all badass, this and that. So we driving. Some fool in a little big ass pickup. Because now when I see a pickup truck, I'm viewing you like, oh, you on that. You playing some racist shit. You see two black dudes in here. The vehicle wrapped in the rental. Enterprise started doing the motorcycle rental. A girl started that shit out here. We was renting Harleys and shit. So they vehicle wrapped in that Harley shit. So this fool in the pickup truck, like, think he kind of cut us off or whatever he doing there. He on honking on the horn, tailgating us. Man, I hop out the fucking window. Hey, bitch, back your motherfucking ass up. Woo, woo, woo. Oh boy, like, nah, man, what you doing? Man, nah, man, I'm gonna get in trouble. I said, man, you don't calm that shit the fuck down. Like this nigga paranoid because he's scared of the dang white girl who was the manager over there because she been on his ass. I said, man, you better kill that shit. Like, fuck you talking about? Like, nigga, if she say something, she can come talk to me. Tell her I'm the one that did it. Because now he worried. So now this doing the pickup truck, doing all this old tough hillbilly Hell's Angel shit. Now this motherfucker, he call over there. He's because the number on the damn side of the van. He call in. He worried the girl come over to talk to me. And I tell her ass on some arrogant shit. Like, what you come talking to me for? Like, yeah, I did it. But I bet the fool ain't tell you what he did. So it is what it is. So shit. What else you want me to say? Whatever he told you is what the hell I did. And I walk away from it. Like, don't be come over here questioning me about that fucking shit. Because you had some old fool because he looked like you or whatever. Then I had another incident, this motherfucker on a Harley. I'm over there where that Top Rank gym at. On that little side street where the Top Rank gym facility at. I'm fucking driving. Where was I? I thought I was going to pick somebody up. And this is fool on a Harley. He get mad. I guess he get mad at how I'm driving. That fool make the little hard shits and get on the side of me saying some shit. I pulled back up on him. I said, hey, fuck you, bitch. Woo woo. And I told him, like, nigga, pull over. Motherfucker, he pull over. I pull over out the car, dressed in a suit and all that shit. I walk up and I'm like, what's up, bitch? Fuck you out here cutting off, motherfucker. He grabbed some old pipe. I said, man, I'll shove that pipe down your fucking throat, you little bitch. So you better get the fuck up out of here, ho. Motherfucker, he killed all that shit, jump on his Harley and try to little burn rubber to skirt out. Like, no, give a fuck about you motorcycle riding motherfuckers. Right, that's why I be like, man, that's why I stay away from shit. I don't be want to be around motherfuckers like that. Because always some old hoe ass shit people be on. But I'm telling you, I used to do. I'm lucky that I got out Enterprise without them firing me. That I ended up getting out of there doing that email shit. That email shit that I did before I got out of there. Barnett says I work with this guy. Says I worked with this guy one time. Says before he got into it with somebody, he'll smile real big, says, and lean in on him, says, and with a whisper and a big smile on his face, he'll tell him something vicious. That's how I used to do motherfuckers, or with them white folks, or even with black folks at Enterprise. I walk in there when them motherfuckers see me, when a white person walk through the door, because we'll go down if we picking cars up in groups. They see the white people walk in, they look, they greet and all that shit. As soon as my black ass coming behind, see them on their desk in the computer. I walk right over to their ass. Oh, what's up? Yeah, I'm Reg. Woo woo. Because I already know they know him because everybody was saying all this old Black Panther shit about me and shit. Or I used to tell them my family was Black Panthers and shit. I think I told some white doing that shit spread. And so I walk over to black folks. Oh, I'm Reg. Woo woo. Oh, and maybe they only one say, I said, what's your name? Okay. I say, stay black. And then I walk off and go get our car. Or if I go grab a key, walk back out there, I walk back by their desk, stay black. Keep on walking. I used to fuck them little hoe ass people up at Enterprise. And he said, so the camera only see him smiling. Says, yeah, that's how you do motherfuckers. And he says, what did you says, what did you change your mind in the aviation? Or what changed it? It wasn't no fucking jobs. And then I fucked up when I did have a job for LAX. I came out here. I was out here visiting my kid's mom when she had first moved out here. And when I get back, I was out here for like a cool little time. When I get back, the damn test paper in the fucking mill. And I missed that shit. And in matter of fact, it was one of the dudes from Embry Riddle who was working there. He used to be one of our administrators. He worked at the airport to this fucking day in operations and shit. Marnaz says, going through your email, says, hell no, says, violating your privacy, says that's grounds for dismissal. And he says, Ono Boxing says, smart back then. He says he made you turn your to your draft, says, and we had to, everybody had to submit that shit through whatever that app was. It was some kind of program. And then he says, wonder how that works for professors now with Chat GPT. They probably can figure out if that Chat GTP done wrote that shit for some people. Lassie Cuss says, I got California love, says fucking bitches to that Pac shit. And West Side Connection says Ben had it locked, bitches. Says, hey, cuz, no more tradie Wednesday. And he says for real though, Velocity Cuts. Man, we gonna get that shit started back up. We start back up, we gotta do Cash Money No Limit. And then Martinez says this ain't riding. Says we're using thumbs and not says we're using thumbs and not proofreading. Shit, man, y'all can write. If you write into some company, you'll write that shit right. Says how you feel about Hit Boy the Deuce. Deuce gonna probably say some hater shit. Well, Deuce probably not because his dad a blood. So Deuce probably gonna say some positive shit by way of his father being a blood. And then Velocity Cuss says, was that you? Said that was telling that story of when you had to run someone over in the Hertz parking lot. No, I ain't never ran nobody over in the car. I probably wanted to do that shit. I would have ran that nigga over on that motorcycle too. If I didn't think no cameras over there, it'd be people on motorcycles, man. Let me not say that shit. Let me not say that shit. I remember seeing the Hell's Angel one time on the highway. Man, you talking about hitting some motherfuckers. The way them motherfuckers ride, I'm talking about 20, 30 of these motherfuckers. I was like, but then I'm like, man, I got my kids in the car. I ain't got no gun in this motherfucker. Them fools, man, I be like, man, that shit was annoying as fuck to me. Like, here these niggas acting. I hate when people act like they super tough. I just don't like that shit. Barnett says that's cold. He says you the common denominator, says, and all these aggressive no, I'm not. No, I'm not. It be these people. Man, I don't start competitions with people at all. It be these motherfuckers thinking they just Billy badasses and this and that. And he says, so when did you become reformed? Shit with these kids. And then I don't be tripping. Maybe people acting like that. People be wanting you to just turn the other cheek to shit, and then they can go about doing whatever the fuck they want. That's what it be. People expect people to turn the other cheek, try to disrespect you. In a minute, you come back and you say the shit I say to them. Them motherfuckers turning to acting like victims and shit. And he says, "Nah." Says you're more lucky. Says you're more lucky. Says you got out of enterprise. Says with or without a criminal record. Nah, I got out without them firing me. I wasn't gonna get no criminal record in that shit. But it was, man, like I say, man, the shit I was doing in there, you talking about, that's why a lot of people was cool with me from when I left. Them fools used to put me at every enterprise, and people who I used to rent to would follow me, especially black folks. When I see the way the white folks act when a black person walk in there. They wouldn't want to help you. They worry about that insurance sales shit. So they worrying about whether or not you take coverage, and they worrying about their numbers. Then they view black people as being risky to rent to. This type of racist shit that was going on in this motherfucker. And so me being the smart motherfucker I am, I said, okay, I'm going to counter that shit. And I'm going to be offensive in countering that shit. When I see a black person, they be wanting you to greet people at the door and all that other over-the-top customer service shit. I see black folks, boom, I'm going to hook you up. Come in there, man, what you put in there? Are you putting the economy? Don't even worry about it. What they charge you? I'm about to knock like $3 a day off of that shit. Matter of fact, I'm about to give you this new SUV they brought in this motherfucker. I'll give you this new pickup truck. They people coming in there renting these cars like they there. like they theirs. I had this dude from out of where's that fool? That fool was from Somalia or somewhere. And that fool used to come in and rent. So he come in there because the dude used to come out here to the barbecue. I was hooking that fool with all type of new shit. He'll come and do long-term rentals. Like, man, what you got? Oh, fuck, I'm about to what they got you in a little small two-door, little small economy car? Man, bring that shit in. We got a brand new car, fresh off the truck. Enterprise is getting new ass cars. That shit ain't even got 1,000 miles on that shit. Here, take that shit. Matter of fact, I'm about to take your rate down. Whatever they charge, I'm about to lower that shit. Because that's what they do with white folks. I'm going to hook you up. Then he started bringing other cats around. One cat was running for a long time. And I was hooking this fool up so much. This fool was giving me like $40 tips and shit. They moved me way to Summerlin. That fool drive way out to Summerlin, redo his rental, hook him up. When they had the arena football team, I was hooking one of the cats up on the teams up with rentals. He'd bring the people off his team there because I was hooking up my folks. And then I wouldn't be putting all that insurance shit on that shit. They be wanting to talk to me about insurance. Man, I ain't enforcing that shit on nobody. If they don't need it, they don't need it. I ain't worried about my sales numbers. But what y'all don't realize is I'm hooking my folks up in here. What I'm doing all day. Even matter of fact, Deuce Times, Keisha husband came out here. It was Keisha husband, Burdell, Marcus. I don't know if you remember Marcus used to be at Steven House, the one that know karate and shit. Them, and it was somebody else. Damn, who else rode out here with? I think it might have been somebody else I didn't know with them. And they happened to come out here while I'm at working at the airport. And I see them like, I'm like, man, what the hell? Like, man, I said, what kind of car y'all got? I said, don't even worry about it. I got y'all. Then he finished doing his car, just wait. What kind of car y'all got? I'm going to hook y'all. I think I hooked them up with a brand new, like, Ford Expedition, or it might have been a Navigator, whatever it is. I said, man, fuck. They probably had like a regular car. Now I put them in a big-ass SUV. All day I do that shit. Me, when I used to work at Enterprise, I love minivans. So when I go there, I rent minivans. So I used to always try to put whatever motherfuckers want. When I see you look like me, I'm hooking you up. And that's what made me solid. That's why I used to tell them old coward-ass black folks up in there. Niggas stay black. Stop worrying about these punk-ass motherfuckers. They talking about, they always say this shit that the Chargers were risky cars because those cars black folks want. And I'll be like, man, I went searching for in this ghetto neighborhood. I was in this ghetto neighborhood looking for one of our cars. And all in the yard is pickup trucks. Pickup trucks are, I went to this this little trailer community. I went to this ghetto area. And they want to listen intently. Yeah, in the trailer park area over there and this and that. And then that's why they used to view me as being racist because of that shit. I'm talking about I used to fuck with these fools' heads all day, every day. And flip what ghetto is. I get my own term. Ghetto is when I see motherfuckers with pickup trucks and flying the American flag in front of the house. That shit used to fuck them up. And then now they want to pay me as a racist. But they can label what cars are risky and the cars that black people want. And those are ones you got to worry about being stolen. But when I go to old poor-ass Pahrump, way out here, where's Pahrump? Pahrump is like way up a road, way from the road they take when people want to go to Death Valley and shit. Go way out there where ain't nothing but, let me pull up Pahrump. Pahrump probably one of the poorest damn little cities in all of the United States. Hold on, let me see. How you spell Pahrump? Oh, there we go. I spelled it right. Let me pull up this shit. These motherfuckers is anti-American. They a bunch of Trump-loving motherfuckers out there. It probably a low-ass probably. There's some black folks that move out there. There's probably about 10 of them. And those are people who be trying to live off the grid, wanting to do all this other shit. Racist ass. Oh, look. There we go. Just what I said. Like I said, and I used to volunteer to go out there. Like if a manager had to take off or need to go somewhere, now I volunteer to go out there because I like going to these old all white ass towns. For some reason, I just like going out there because I like fucking with them. This town got 11,000 people in it. Its makeup is 96% white. This is where people go out and buy the fireworks all year. They barely have a point. So 0.1% is black. 0.1%. So you can count the number of black people in this motherfucker on one hand. There's more Asians in Pahrump because they have the little Chinese food spots. They got natives who've been slaughtered. These are remaining livings of the motherfuckers. Poverty is high as fuck out in Pahrump, I think. They got some few rich people out there own mansions. But I think the median income says 34,000, which is only driven up because there's some rich people out there for that low population. But the per capita income is 17,000. Says about 7.3 of families, 10.4 of population. Says we're below the poverty line. Says including 14% or 15% of those under the age of 18. Says 7% of those age 65. That it's a lot of poor people out there. They live in trailer homes and all type of shit, RVs and all that. And like I said, it's barely any black folks. So when you go out there, they don't do all that shit they do in the regular city where you got to show all this. Them motherfuckers got so many cars missing in Pahrump. Then you get the little. I used to see the little bras that work at the little bunny ranch shit, the little escort broads. See them coming up. They be the only ones with money coming in that motherfucker. There's a little whores. And I'll be like, and the bitches don't even look like nothing. They only seen one bad one. It's like an Asian looking broad who was a bad one. But the rest of them, they don't be having money. They don't be, some of them walk in there, they be stinking. So when I used to work there, they'll walk in there, they'll walk out. And I'll be laughing. And then they be looking around. I'll be like, yeah, what you need? What's up? And I'll talk to them just like that. Yeah, I'm running. I'll sit in front of the store. I sit right in front of the door, hanging out. When people be driving by, they be doing this shit. And I'll be like this. I'll be sitting out in the front of that motherfucker. So it was one day when this white dude, he walking out one of the little Chinese restaurants out there. And that day walk out. So he walk out, he pushing his homeboy in a wheelchair. They go into their car. So then they're walking across and like I say, I'm sitting in front of the building. That white dude break his neck. What? So then I see that nigga turn to push his homeboy over there. And that fool go ask me, this is what this white dude asked me. He asked me, he said, where you from? I said, where you from? He said, I'm from here. I said, so I already know where he's going. I said, no, where you from? I said, you from America? And then, so he's going to ask me. He said, where you from? I said, I'm from South Central. And they're going to say, no, back in Africa. I was like, I'm from where your mama from. That nigga start turning red. He walk off his shit. But I used to love sitting out there fucking with them folks. Man, they be out there. And I used to be out there quite a bit too. And they started having to get accustomed to me. And then said, but them motherfuckers will never have money. You will have to take risky deals that nowhere else in enterprise allow that shit except that old white ass town out there. Them fools ain't got to put a bunch of extra money above their rental like anywhere else. They ain't got to have all this money to deposit. They was taking deals of giving them whatever their rental is and then doing cash. And then he says, but let me get off of here too. I'm in here reminiscing like a motherfucker. That's what I love to do. And he says, what you think of Hit Boy? I like Hit Boy. Hit Boy is a genius. I like the album he did with his dad too. And the one he did with his dad in Gang. And then Martinez says, I'm late to the party, says hearing them rap, says, but he's dope as fuck. You know, Hit Boy is dope as hell. That's why a lot of people work with him. And then Dusan says, I think, shit, to be honest, LA probably got the LA area got some of the dopest producers in hip hop, though, to be honest. And the Dusan says, I think Hit Boy mid, says his beats too soft, says and off rhythm to me, says, but Hit is dope, says in his skateboard lane. Deuce don't know music, homie. That nigga don't know music. Deuce is the nigga who be off and on with music and shit. And then Arnold Boxer says, yeah, that was Red. Said that was the time. Says he ran over, says and jump out the car, says and whooped 16 dudes at once. You'll never hear me tell no bullshit story like that. Deuce said, Red stay hooking me up, says hooking me up on the rental. Says I got an 8-passenger van, says for 7 whole days for like 100 cuts. Man, I ain't do no shit like that. I don't think I ever did a rental for you, Deuce. Have I? I don't think I ever did a rental for you. By the time y'all came out here, I wasn't working at Enterprise no more. And by that, when I started working at Enterprise, my name was bad up there because of what I did with that email shit. But what that email did was change everything for black motherfuckers working at Enterprise out here, if not this fucking country. I know for sure in Nevada, if not just Nevada, for the rest of this fucking country, for where Enterprise is at. That email I put out, woo, that shit ate them whole ass motherfuckers up. Martinez says, hell yeah. Says the finance department guy says energy says went from being cool It's a very unpleasant. Says when I didn't buy the extended warranty. Says man, says uncalled him out. Says uncalled him out on that shit. Says immediate. Says like damn bro, you weird. Says how far is says a drive to Summerlin? Oh, Summerlin not far at all. If you from the strip driving to Summer, because Vegas is little. From Summerlin is like you can get there in 10, 15 minutes. You get there 10, 15 minutes is Summerlin. Summerlin is once you start curving this area. Damn, what's the reference point? So y'all never been back that way. Summerlin will begin where like there's a RC Willey furniture store. Once you pass by that IKEA shit, you start going to Summerlin. But Vegas has got all these little small cities. All this shit really Vegas, but Henderson is like a bigger city, but still viewed as Vegas. It's just the opposite way. So the strip, Henderson is east of the strip, like going towards the Hoover Dam. Summerlin will be going across the 15. So you got that 15 freeway dividing everything. You'll take 215 going west of that, like out towards the mountains. You start seeing those mountains. Now it's not all the way towards the mountains, just a little bit going west this way, like 10 minutes away from the strip and shit. And then, like I say, Vegas ain't big. You can drive around this whole city on these freeways in a loop in a good 30, 45 minutes and shit. Loop the whole city. And then the guy by Sean says Kia's get stole a lot in Chicago. Says is it the same out there? No, the cars, these fools, like I say, rental car, that rental shit is risky too, because these fools rent a car and act like it's theirs and keep them. Wouldn't want to return them. Act like they cars. They be behind on their rentals. They'll come and have somebody drop them off to drop off some extra money, but won't let you see where the car is at. You be having to go to people's house, knock on their doors, ask for riddles. But even somebody got killed at Enterprise doing that shit. So they don't advise you to go and try to take the cars. Because I say these motherfuckers act like these cars is theirs. Because you get so many people doing illegal shit. People in that drug gang shit, hustling. People using these cars, driving their hoes around, pimping and shit. It was all type of crazy shit they do in these rentals. And then, like I say, even the people I was hooking up was keeping the cars like it was theirs. And then will be in the cars for months, then swap them out to also give off the perception to people like they got money. Oh, yeah, I got me a new whip. Yeah, look at the no mileage on it. It be people doing that shit. You know, them people be flamboyant, showing off, faking like they bigger and richer than what they are. They were doing that shit with these cars. Like, these fools crazy. I ain't risking my life for none of these for this company's cars, but we will go to some people's houses and look for the cars. We see them out there. You call a tow truck, and I think you have to call Metro and shit if they'll show up. Marnett says Deuce says Deuce, and you probably complain about that too. Yeah, Deuce got to break out of complaining so much, man. And he says no. Relly says why I can't pay $70. Now, I don't think I hooked Deuce. I think Deuce is joking on that one. I don't think I hooked him up with a rental van. But if he did come out here, I would have hooked him up. And then I would probably got that nigga a car for free. Shit. And he says the Bunny Red's chicks are busted. Man, they was garbage, homie. The ones I seen out there, because white dudes don't know high quality bitches. Unless white dudes, when they know bad bitches and when they start adapting to black culture and getting an understanding of coolness with black folks. But other than that, to like them dudes to be wasting their money on them whack flat butt bitches, all them bitches gotta do is go get titty implants. And then them fools think, oh my God, she's got those knockers. Oh, rub them in my face. That's all them motherfuckers do because they can't fuck the bitch. They can't hump that bitch. Them bitches pussy about as tight as motherfucking vice grips. They ain't doing no poking on them, bro. They just want titties rubbed in their face and spend $1,000 to do that shit. And bust all over themselves and shit. And then the bitch get blonde hair. That was the one thing, bros that had blonde hair. I seen a black bitch that worked out of that shit. She was bony than a motherfucker with big titties, with blue eye contacts, darker than me. She looked like that bitch from the little black African chick from Mexico. What's her name? She played in the Wakanda movie. She dark as that chick with blue eyes, knowing they contacts, with blonde hair. I don't know if it was a blonde wig or weave, whatever it was, because that's what them fools gonna go there and spend their money looking for bras like that. Them bitches in there weak as fuck. The ones I see in the renting cars. And then Gabadi Sean says sound like a town says where they chew tobacco. Yeah, chew tobacco. They talk guns all fucking day. They talk all this anti-American shit. Matter of fact, the Nickelodeon got in trouble because Nickelodeon. What's that little freckle face dude from Nickelodeon? I think he was in a show. I think he died recently too. He was in a show, one of them kids shows or whatever shows on Nickelodeon, where they made a comment about Pahrump, talking about it being like a trash town. Matter of fact, on the Wikipedia thing, hold on, let me go back to Pahrump. It's gonna talk about that shit, and they end up taking that show down. Let me see if they got this shit on the Wikipedia. I think years ago I saw that. Let me see, Nickelodeon. Hold on, where is this shit at? Let me see. What's the name of that show they talk about? But yeah, Nick, them fools is way out. Like they just anti-government, they anti-civilization. They don't want to be around people. They like really anti-civilization type people and shit. And I think the fool made that comment might be from out there in Pahrump. Let me see. Where is this shit at? Oh, Heidi Fleiss was out here? Heidi Fleiss was that bitch pimping out there too. Hold on, let me see. Nickelodeon on Pahrump. Let me find that article and shit. Where they're talking about how it's a dump. Let me see. How you even spell Nickelodeon? I don't even know how to spell that shit. Nickelodeon. All right, let me see. Nickelodeon. Okay, I had it almost there. I was right there, homie. What's up, Brandon? I see you up in the building. Let me see. They made some comment on Pahrump, and it got them in a controversy. Nickelodeon. Comment on Pahrump. Hold on, where's that shit? Okay, the Disney XD Kids show pokes funds at Pahrump. Calls a desert town. Wait, where's this shit? Let's see. Calls the town. Yeah, see, it's that fool, a stink hole. That's what they said. Because that shit really is, man. Them people out there, like I say, the people you go out there, the people stink. The food was nasty as hell. So yeah, here it is, XD Kids or whatever that is, called a stink hole. They got mad, but they wasn't really lying. The people out there don't wash their ass. The dudes out there don't wash their ass. Them fools be stinking. Yeah, this the fool who died. Yeah, this fool right here, whatever his name is. That's why I remember they had the controversy. I think they may have taken the show down or edit that shit out in replays of that show. But yeah, that shit, man, you go out there, you can buy, like what's the name? CJ was talking about when he brought all those fireworks. He went out there. He drove all the way from LA out there because you can buy fireworks all year out there. But them fools be on that gun shit. They live, like it'd be a house here. Matter of fact, let me pull Pahrump on the map. Because even on the, when you drive out there, it'd be like, you can drive miles away and no neighbors, your neighbors far away from each other. Some people was going out there when they had when people were making money out here. And some people, when the housing prices was booming, they was like, they was going to take their money, what they're making. Some people would drive all the way to Pahrump. Let me see. Some people would drive all the way from Pahrump to Vegas for work and shit. Yeah, here this shit go. Let me pull this shit up on this map. Let me see. I got a few more minutes to get off here by noon. Yeah, here go. So it's on the other side of Mount Charleston. So here go Mount Charleston and shit. It's on the back side of that, but it's this road. Here go Vegas over here. So it's probably like, what did it say? 50 miles away from Vegas. So you just drive this road all the way up through here. And then it's just this wide ass area. Let me zoom into this shit. And I used to drive that road. I used to love driving that road because I get the bang music. So I'll be in one of the rental cars, take one of the rental cars, dip all the way out there, with about 45 or an hour each way, just cruise. But this is how they live. That shit just spread out. Spread out in Death Valley somewhere. I think this is the road you can take to Death Valley. But where the fuck is Death Valley at? Okay, I think this might be Death Valley. Is this Death Valley? Yep, Devil's Hole. I think this is Death Valley over here. So it's right on the edge of Death Valley, like it's outer limits. So here that shit is. That shit just spread. Like people live so spread out. It's trailers and shit. And they, like I say, the people who live out there, they don't want to live around other people. They just want to live spaced out. Be away from people. Be away from people. They may harbor racist views, but when they get around black folks, they closet all that shit. So it still ain't no shit out there. Yeah, this shit just out there. No lights out there. It's dark out there. That's how a lot of Nevada is. This shit just rule out here. And he says, see, you are the aggressor. Says, why picking on them folks? No, I ain't picking on them folks. I just want to see how racist people is. And the guy by Sean says, and they do snuff. Says Mark says, and lick toad says, and get high. And he says, how is that possible? Says they didn't have a company policy. Who didn't have a company policy? You talking about Enterprise and Pahrump? They did. They just, like I say, them fools in that country. That's why I sent that email when I left that motherfucker. Because I looked into all that shit. Shit y'all do out here in these white cities, and then y'all do in Vegas, black people got to do all this other shit. Now, I did one rental for this stupid-ass black dude, and I remember this fool had just got out of prison. He had his cousin rent this shit for him. This fool ended up going right back to prison on that shit. I think they caught him. Did he do a robbery out that motherfucker? He may have did a robbery and then, or they caught him pimping or some shit. There was a lot of people doing illicit shit in our cars and shit. And then Deuce says you did a rental for me. He says twice, for real. Oh, I did? He says you did a reservation for me. But where was you at? Was you in Vegas? Now, if you would have came and see, that's probably won't remember because you didn't pick one up from Vegas. Now, if you would have came here and rented one, you would have been in some, I would have put you in some fresh ass shit. And then hooked your rental up, took a bunch of dollars off that shit. Talking about I used to hook folks up, man. That's why black people was fucking with me at Enterprise. I'm talking, they was sending me to all type of locations. People even wanted my numbers and shit. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be over here. They'll come in there and be sitting there waiting. It just used to look obvious. Motherfucker walk in there waiting for, just sitting in the lobby, don't want help from nobody, waiting for me. And I'll go right in there. All right, I'm gonna change this shit. Let me knock this shit off. Woo, woo. He says, I never understood people says trying to keep a rental card, man. It's a lot of people who ain't living how they be claiming and struggling. And then it's cheaper. You ain't gotta, is that shit cheaper? No, some of these people it ain't cheaper, but then you don't really gotta pay for auto insurance. So it could work out cheaper for some people, especially the plans I was hooking up for people. And God by Sean says, have you ever found your rental? Says you ever found your rental in another state? Says chopped up. Nah. No, the craziest shit, nigga, I remember this old people I picked this old motherfucker up. And when this fool wrecked a brand new car, that nigga wrecked in the parking lot. I was picking up because they wrecked, they rental car they brand new personal car had been in the wreck. And I'm up there in Sun City, which is a retirement ass community and shit. When I go to the house to pick these fools up, mind these motherfuckers call late. We about to close down, and like I hate when people used to do that shit. That's why Enterprise the one job where we'd be hiding behind the counter before we close when people show up late. So these people call like, man, we may have had like 20, 30 minutes before we close. So I rush over to pick these fools up. They come out, they taking long. The wife ain't ready. She one of these old, they like in their 80s and 90s or some shit. The wife, one of these old ass women that still got to get dolled up, put makeup. She probably was a hoe back when she was young. And that fool probably had money and scooped her up. She got to get dolled up. So she last to get out. This fool got old uneven ass leg and his leg fucked up. This nigga he opened the garage. I'm parked right at the street from his driveway. This nigga literally took 5 fucking minutes to walk. I'm talking, this nigga was taking like millimeter ass steps. And I'm like, get out, like, you need help? And he want to be independent, no. And I'm just watching this nigga took literally almost 5 minutes Not like he stopped, take a breath. That nigga in there walking the whole time to get to this fucking car. I'm like, what the fuck? So he getting the passenger seat, the wife getting the back. So now Swain get back to the rental spot. I gotta hurry this shit up because we ready to close. Park this car, leave him in the car because he can't get out. The wife will come in, doing up they shit. The insurance company paying for the rental, going through this contract and shit, typing up. When I'm sitting at the damn computer and through the window, I see his old ass get out the car and walking around. I see him walking around slow as hell. I leave the car running. He take like 3 minutes to walk around the car, like laying on the car going around. I don't even know what he getting in the front seat. I don't know what he doing. And so when I'm in there typing up the ticket, I hear that fool. I don't know if he had that big ass boot and it stepped on the gas. You just hear the gas of his car doing that shit. And I'm looking. I think I made a joke like you might want to move before he drive that car through here or some shit. So then I finish her ticket, go to the back because I'm doing another fucking car, cleaning the car or some shit. All I remember hearing is boo, boo, boo. Go out there, this old nigga done back this car up. His brand new car hit a brand new truck. Then back into some other new car. Now we gotta do a damn what's some bitches called? Some kind of insurance statements, like write this motherfucking collision little claim and shit. So this motherfucker now done total out this brand new car we had. I think he totaled all them fucking cars. Or maybe one car just had to go to a body shop or some shit. But he totaled out that car. I picked him up and total out a brand new pickup truck and some other shit. Now we got to take this stupid motherfucker back home. They ain't got no rental. I like this stupid ass nigga didn't even get out the lot. That was the funniest shit I remember for that mug. But no, I seen cars fucked up. I seen some cars total and flip that they bring back to that mug. And then Mark says, look. Well, he says, look. Oh, sorry. He says, looking back, says it was dangerous working at a rental. Says at a rental wheels, repossessing people's rims. Says and leaving them. Oh, nigga. Oh, you talk, man. I tell this story about this one broad I used to fuck with that used to live next door to me in Long Beach. Her brother had this fucking. This is the first time I never in my fucking life heard about rental wheels in life. This fool had like a Cutlass. These are some niggas from they family from out of Mississippi, so they a bunch of country ass niggas out there in Cali. But LA has LA in the South is like one, so they come out there. So this fool, he got him like a Cutlass. He got him a little young. He young. He fresh out of high school. No, this fool might have been like 19, 20 or something. But he out there giving off this appearance. He got chains on, diamond earrings. Fool trying to dress fresh, trying to attract the bras. He got the car with the rims on it. I think it's like a Cutlass. He had a Cutlass, I think. And he got the rims on it and shit. Man, one day that nigga out there, these people got that car jacked up, pulling the rims off his shit, man. You talking about feeling embarrassed. That nigga was embarrassed. And they pull up in a van when they taking the shit that got that rental wheel shit blasted on the side of the van. Nigga looking, I remember my landlord, I was hanging with my landlord Pops. Man, that nigga, this stupid ass motherfucker, he just going off. I think that's why I pick up all that stupid motherfucking shit from. Man, I was like, man, what the hell? Nigga, you renting rims? Like, what the fuck? Now he riding around with the remember how the old cars had a little black metal rim on it and shit, no design? He riding around with that shit on big ass tires. It was like, man, that shit was embarrassing than a motherfucker when that shit happened. And he says definitely didn't get paid enough for that shit. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I can see some people, especially people be on rims and shit, be probably involved in street shit, that they be ready to try to. I'm pretty sure rental rims have had some people jumped on, if not killed. Even Repo Man, that shit dangerous as fuck too. Godbody Sean says, hell yeah. Mark says, I'll be watching them tow videos. Says, dude be moving fast as fuck. Man, that's why them repo trucks can just back in, lift your shit up, snatch it, and take off. So they ain't gotta sit there strapping that shit. Brandon says, what the fuck? Says, what the fuck is, says, is this? Says, we're West Coast Wednesday. And then Brandon there started shit trying to make Deuce mad. Brandon, I already see through that shit what you be trying to do, man. And he says, Brandon Sitter says, was even more dangerous. Says, now that I think about it, says, because you're in their house, says taking their TVs. That shit crazy as fuck. That shit got to be against the law. So y'all really breaking in people's houses. But them companies be having some crazy shit. But it's crazy thinking of the fact. But it also points back to how fucked up shit is in America, that people have to rent furniture because they can't afford that shit. But I know y'all be going to people's houses. That shit crazy. But I guess it's your shit. But that shit still got to be against the law. The guy by Sean says, never heard of that town, says, until now. Says, I'm riding through Indiana yesterday, says, and they have a town called Morocco. Says Morocco, Indiana, says, full of white folks. I mean, they got a lot of weird ass towns in this country with foreign names to it, full of white folks in this mug. And then God by Sean says, true to Mark, says, how does Rent-A-Center says actually get their stuff back? Says, hop in the motherfuckers' windows, man. An employee got to be crazy to do that shit for a company. Because let you get killed, that company probably wouldn't even pay for the funeral. It wouldn't even send your family any type of monetary compensation or assistance and shit. And Brandon said, Nickelodeon. Oh, salute, Brandon. Yeah, I know I spelled this shit right. I put an A instead of the O on for that shit. But I was on point. But folks, that's all I got. But once again, bring that shit right back full circle about how this retaliation that China's taking on the world and poison it with shit that was brought in their country hundreds of years ago to poisoning their continent and for the invasion forces of Western European nations, along with the United States, which is also a Western European nation, militaristic European nation that went in there, that added into the poison of these people. Even Americans giving them that shit when they were here assisting with the rail system. Now they're poisoning the same offsprings of these kids, the great grandkids of these people, with the fentanyl and other illicit drugs, and creating the pipelining distribution systems inside of America the way they did them. And now, to prevent the same kind of military disasters and defeats, they are ensuring they have a military of world class that can compete with the best of them, if not look like better than all of them, with a population that's greater than any other military on this planet. But that's all I got on this one. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.